Party people in the place to be, live from 58 Dream Street. We're James of the Games. Coming back for episode, what is it now, 12 of our Star Control 2 Let's Play, although at the same time, this is episode 2 of this particular attempt at Star Control 2. So we had a good first week of resource gathering, alliance forming last term, using the knowledge from the failed run to hit the ground running and see if we can't actually save the galaxy this time. I'm going to adjust my lighting a little bit here. Maybe a little more shadowy on this side of my face than I mean to be. Well, let's see. Shouldn't take much. I'm satisfied with that. All right. Good stuff. Let's fire it up. I will pull the volume down here on my home computer in the hopes of not overwhelming you when the game sound starts up. Now let's fire it up. Star Control 2. Here we go. Up. Now I gotta fix all my windows after the process of leaving full screen there. Okay, we're set. We're ready. Let's go. Okay. Waffle syrup, hail! Glad to have you here. Oh, let's turn up the, let's say we make the text size in the chat perhaps a little bit bigger. I will eventually standardize the settings of my chat windows across all my different scene collections so that I don't need to do this on an ongoing basis. But here we are. We're set. We're ready. We have started over, and now let's get started. And let's see what we can do. Happy camper! Hello! I hope that you've been enjoying The Lost Vikings 2, if I'm remembering correctly what you were playing when I was able to swing by your channel. Hello and welcome everyone who came along with Happy Camper. You're just in time for the commencement here. I'm going to fire it up. I'm going to turn the CPU cycles down to 4,000 because no, I have not gotten around to just setting it to by default launch at a speed where the combat isn't overwhelmingly fast. Here we go. I think we can depart the... No, you know what? It would be sensible, right? To take a look and just see what's the status of our starship. Oh, and indeed. Hold on. Gotta turn the music down a tiny bit for myself. My PC speakers just, I don't know. They upgraded themselves and their capacity to amplify sound. So the numbers... Sweet. I'm going to wind up playing that game sometime soon now, just because you put it back in my mind. Have you ever played Trine, Happy Camper? In terms of kind of puzzle platformers. It's also a Control 3 characters with different abilities puzzle platformer. Although it's also very, very physics puzzle based. Okay. Well, what's our module status? We got good modules, I think. I think fuel is really the most important thing I could have right now. So how about I purchase some fuel. Excellent. And then let's make sure that we have crew. We have crew. Excellent. And then perhaps, can I buy an eluder? I can't. I've only played Trine 2 and had a lot of fun with it, except I really want to play it with people, and every time I've gotten someone to start it with me, I cannot get them to keep coming back. So maybe I'll be able to pull that off sometime soon here on the channel. Okay. Can't buy an eluder yet because I bought all that fuel. So perhaps I should offload some fuel, just enough fuel that I can buy one eluder just in case the Spathi, I hesitate to call it a betrayal, but the Spathi are certainly not going to be honoring their commitment to the Alliance for very long. And as we all know, having an additional Spathi eluder takes the pressure off of Fwifo. And we love Fwifo. And we don't want to put undue pressure on him. We'll use all the rest of our resource units to put a crew on that Spathi eluder because we know from Fwifo. Oh, okay. Not much of a crew. It is what it is. In a pinch, I'll assign crew from whatever. It is what it is. We gotta get out there. Oh, that sounds lovely. This is not a criticism of my sister, who I love, Hannah, if you're watching, which I know you're not. But my sister would never ever play a video game with me. I can't imagine a world where that would happen. In theory, my nephews will be an excellent source of video game partners. But the problem there is that I kind of suspect if I brought that up now, I don't think they're going to be allowed to know that video games exist anytime soon. Waffle Syrup, I'm a fan of all games, and I do love strategy games. Got a strategy game in mind right now. Okay. What should I do? Let's go to... Occurs to me, I made one big mistake. Wildermyth. Oh, I've heard good things about Wildermyth. So, alright. I got a list here. Of things that people tell me I should look into. Wildermyth's on there. I kind of suspect the next time I obtain a new game and play it, it's going to be Loop Hero, but who knows? Maybe I'll read about Wildermyth and it'll change my mind. I do like the promise of co-op. I'm trying to wear Greg down, not because I don't love talking about wrestling with Greg, but I'm trying to convince Greg that maybe now that we've been almost a year of playing wrestling games and talking about wrestling on Twitch without ever amassing any interest in the show, we should try something else. And maybe a co-op strategy campaign would be just the thing. Okay. So the big mistake that I made last time, I can see, is that I was not noting down which planets I had revisited so that I don't visit them an unnecessary additional time. But I'll start doing that today. But okay. So we want to get out there. And let's head for... I think what we want to do here... What do we want to do here? I think I want to go... Can I get to Delta Lalande safely? Because Delta Lalande, which I believe is in this vicinity. Yep, there's the Lalande constellation. Gamma, Delta. If I can get there without being killed by ores, which is no guarantee. So let's save before we head out. We'll start a new one. Still don't understand why the cursor does not spawn at the start. Day 2. No, it's not January anymore. February 5. Excellent. Okay. Let's head towards... Because we want to get as many of the quest chains going as possible while also gathering resources. So I think if I hit Delta Lalande, I noted there that I can obtain riches. So I will try to do that again. And then we'll be in the general vicinity of the Serenkov system, which I think is going to be down here. Serenkov constellation. It's somewhere. Yep. So I could do the Gloomhaven video game. It's probably something I should at least try. I'm quite a fan of Gloomhaven. Okay, here we go. Chart a course for Delta Lalande. Ensign. Make it so. And we hit the road. Oh, you can see slightly barer shelves behind me. Finally relieved a little bit of stress by starting to pack for my move at the end of the month. Fortunately, the majority of things I own are in some form of square or rectangle shape. You know, books, DVDs, video games, board games, and so on. So they're very packable. We're working on that. And we're heading out. Again, hopefully we don't get, killed by anything on the way. Avoiding combat as much as we can, because yeah, Gloomhaven, I don't know if I could have ever got into it without the COVID-19 pandemic. Because it was literally the fact that my group that was playing Pandemic Legacy 2, turned it to be thematically appropriate, we were on a rate of playing like once every 2 months, and had got like a third of the way through the campaign when the pandemic hit, and then we went up to playing twice a week and wrapped the campaign in like a month and a half. So then it was like, well, we need something to do. So I went looking for other Legacy games and was like, keep hearing about this Gloomhaven. And sure enough, Gloomhaven will sustain you for a long time. I mean, to the extent that we moved on to the expansion just because we done most of what was there. Hello, Odd Blue Turnip. Yeah, it is. It's a nice little game. Well, it's a nice enormous game. But the even if you could only get a few sessions in, it's nice that the day-to-day... Aha! Awesome. I'm glad to have you here. I'll admit, I've only ever caught Happy Camper doing one thing, which is playing Lost Vikings 2. But I bet that, I'm sure there is interest overlap. I mean, his name is Happy Camper, and I'm playing Star Control 2, right? So, not that I even knew that was a reference until he told me it was. Yeah, so I got real lucky. I hate to say I got real lucky with the timing of the pandemic, but I mean, if you gotta look for silver linings, that was one for me. Got my friends to play Gloomhaven regularly. Constantly. If you're not looking to do much role playing, and it's the tactical combat that really interests you, especially with 5th edition, I think that Gloomhaven is obviously a better option. You got to really want all the different things that oh my goodness, I'm sorry, crew. I got you all killed because I did not do a bioscan and I was only looking at the radar. Apologies to the families. Oh goodness, apologies to everyone watching who now has to watch me load and do that same little trip. But this time, I'll be more responsible, more careful of human life, and we'll get this right. Second time's the charm. Okay. At some point in the future, and I don't know how far off in the future it'll be because I got 2 Let's Plays going right now, and I have a job and like a girlfriend, things that I should do besides just oh my goodness, besides just playing games on Twitch. But some point in the future, I'm going to do Pool of Radiance. Get that good old D&D 1st edition tactical combat going, where wizards get stunned and can't cast a spell if they get hit in the round before they cast a spell, and fireball is like practically a nuclear weapon. I'm DMing a 5th edition campaign for some friends, and the wizard used fireball, and because I've been in this classic mindset, I when he said it, I was like, oh, here we go. But it turns out Fireball is just a much calmer and more restrained spell in 5th edition than it is in 1st edition. You can't just toss it into a group of like 16 enemies and one-shot them all. Which is a shame. Well, I mean, that actually might be bad for the balance of 5th edition, but that's true. Oh, you know what? He must have said Fireball when he meant like Firebolt or something, because he's not even 3rd level. Although he's also new to the game, so he might have accidentally given himself a 3rd level spell. Guess I'll have to look into that. Oh, hey, the ores are out in force this particular time. We'll just do our best not to disturb them. Oh, come on. Excuse me. Oh, get out of here, buddy. Here we go. It's a graceful dance. Oh, no. Oh, no. Excuse me, gentlemen, while I... Excuse me, folks. Just hang tight with your giant search party while I conduct all necessary scans prior to making planetfall. Okay, it must have been... I don't think, because I don't remember him rolling 8d6. So there must just be a spell that name sounds like Fireball. If I'm being honest, as a DM, I have always depended on the kindness of my players reading the rules carefully so that I can just riff on what's happening. There, that's it. Yep, Firebolt. There we go. Taking these things... Oh my goodness. Going back to not having all of the upgrades is a tough transition. And we're getting murdered. We gotta leave. And go back down with a full crew so we don't lose our vehicle. Arg! Hopefully I return home with enough riches to start upgrading my ship to have a larger crew pod, all that kind of good stuff. There's a risk of getting out ahead of myself here, I think. Getting too ambitious and losing sight of the ball of collecting resources and upgrading. Okay. Every one of these fight to the death with a large, weird pile of tube legs that agglomerate into a mass at the top. If anyone has the official like cheat guide handy where these creatures are named, wants to tell me what these leg stalks covered in eyes at the top are called. They remind me of the I think they're called Chaos Eaters in the original Dark Souls. When you get down to oh, I'm gonna stop there. Waffle Syrup, I remember you telling me you just started playing Dark Souls. Okay. Okay. Cool. Alright. We are almost full up on biosamples, so maybe we'll just take no more risks with the lives of our crew. Grab some of these base metals down here. And we'll get out of here. We'll blow this popsicle stand, so to speak. This telluric... Oh, ugh. Okay, there. There. Hey. As long as we don't get killed right now by 10,000 Ords attackers, then we're in good condition. Let's... No, not load. Let's save, but in a different slot, just in case I gotta do some bullshit to get out of here alive. Just in case. Hopefully I don't, but just in case. What am I thinking of? Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Excellent film. Okay. I mean, we do have the option of trying to flee. Let's converse first. Right, broken translator. I don't know if the ores are naturally hostile, or if they're hostile because we are not capable of communicating clearly across the language barrier. So let's just try very carefully and see if we can navigate this conversation. Some campers, not so good for games. Is it time for playing yet? Let's just see. Can we... I don't think this... I think we're about to be attacked. We're not even aware. And then everyone is so happy. Oh my goodness, it worked. Okay, that's a relief. So I did possibly offend them the last time we spoke by saying something that they didn't understand. You know what? Why don't I save on that tight spot thing, because now I'm pressing my luck. We're going to keep on mining the planets of the system that is clearly under the territorial control of the ores. But I get the feeling that one that they just docked at is like their home planet. Maybe. I don't know. This one, could it be Pellucid? Could it be Oolite? One of those great types of worlds? Chondrite. Look at those tectonics. Let's see what we're not going down there to get. A bunch of common minerals that we wouldn't go even if it posed a massive, massive risk to the lives and well-being of our crew. I mean, they're up to some complex maneuvers here. Okay, I want to see if that's a radioactive world that I can get to without offending anybody. Excuse me, folks. Just coming in for, you know, this and that. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Let's converse. Alright. I think it works. Okay. Great. For now, we're just not going to press our luck trying conversation options with the ores, but it does seem like Crimson World with the worst kind of material, corrosives. Worst because they exist to give you the hope that they're radioactives. And as far as I can tell, for no other... Well, I mean, I know there are purposes for corrosive materials in real life. But here, where they're only worth 2 resource units, psh, bunch of trash. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, come on. Leave me alone, lightning. Literally every member of my crew indicated on their health profile that they are allergic to being struck by lightning. So, yeah. While we recognize that lightning is still out there and we appreciate concerns that the individual crew members might have different risk tolerances for lightning, we nonetheless prefer a return to in-person planetary landing. Little commentary there for you. Little analogy to the real world commentary for you. Okay. I think that's pretty much all I gotta grab here. So let's, once again, not right now pushing our luck any further with the oars. We'll get out of here, and we'll head down and we'll meet Admiral ZEX at Alpha Serenkov. And at this early stage in the game, our expeditions can't really be that ranging, so I'll probably at that point start going back, try to hit some planets on the way, get all those tasty resources, so on and so forth. So here's Oars Space. It's over here, right? Right. Alpha Serenkov. Here we go. Da-da-da. And then maybe I'll have to look at the star map a little. Oh, come on, autopilot. All you had to do was go off the edge of the screen. Alright, that's okay. Hopefully. Alright, the oars are still weight, so we're okay. We're getting out of there, keeping it real. I suppose I'd be remiss if I didn't say to anyone who's new here, first of all, if you're enjoying yourself, great if you follow. I am an affiliate now, so I got that subscribe button, and I'm certainly not saying that I don't want anyone to subscribe, but I want to be very clear. I only have one thing to offer subscribers right now, although Waffle Syrup can testify that it's a great thing to have, and that's Founders Badges. There's 4 of those left, if I understand the system right. Alright, who are we about to meet? Nice and shiny there. Testimony. Oh, hey! It is the Vux. Well, shall we get into a debate, sir, about which one of us is actually ugly? Gonna tell me about Admiral ZEX. I was trying before you so rudely hailed me down and sucked me into this conversation. In the future, there'll be other subscriber benefits. Right now it's just the badge. I did finish a draft of the final person who plays Friday Night Forgotten Circles with us, Danielle. So I've got sprite art of all of us, like my little head up there. So at the very least, wave 1, custom emotes, everybody's head. And then I'll try to do my own head, because, come on, I'm the star. Doing different emoji faces. So that'll be fun. A shot of me laughing. What? Okay. He wants to fight. Let's fight him. I don't remember how to fight the Vux. Or how to play at all. Let's see how we can do. Start moving. Didn't go well for Decker. This is probably just going to be a practice run. Let's see what we can do. Can or can't do. Okay, if the Vux get anywhere near an Earthling cruiser, the fight is over. Lesson learned. Let's see how Fwill can do. Okay, this was the answer all along. The butt missiles have just a little bit more range than those stupid Vux lasers. That was the answer. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We're gonna have to do it again. Oh, right, we have to kill a bunch of them. Good. Good practice. I will not, next time, needlessly sacrifice Earthling cruisers. Oops. Hit the planet. Hitting planets that you cannot see because of the level of zoom is definitely a frustrating part of the combat in this game. But otherwise, I do feel like I'm turning a corner here. And yes, I do see what just happened there. But I do feel like I'm turning a corner. I do. I guess we'll see on attempt number 2. Because we're not gonna get ahead with the collection of resources if we lose our entire fleet in a random encounter. I don't know what his plan is here. Die honorably, I guess. Was the main thing he was going for. It's to return to what the sprite art thing, Waffle Syrup. Yes, on the one hand, finally. I've been talking about it forever. But there's unique pressure, I think, when you're not a talented artist and you're trying to make a sprite art representation of someone who you are dating. Oops, that was not the right moment to have some tea. Sorry, Fwifo. Oh, Fwifo, we hardly knew ye. Alright, well, the returner is not equipped for this combat right now. Okay. It is what it is. Alright. Here we go again. So this time, we'll either win that fight, never encounter that fight in the first place, or make dialogue selections that do not result in that fight happening at all. Let's see. You know what, though? Right now, let's allow ourselves to drift into hyperspace and then put the autopilot on so it doesn't choose the most unnecessarily inefficient way to navigate us out of the star system. Here we go. Here. Looks like it's just not going to happen. I'm not sure how the game tracks the traveling and the positions of the random encounters, if they're actually like moving around while you're in a galaxy. But at any rate, whatever I did differently there made it different, and I appreciate that. Let's see, like, because it really does look like we might have radioactive planets. Yeah. D-Ohms Gaming. I don't remember ever having... I think I might have got in a fight with them once on my previous attempt, but I'm not positive that I did. I think I might have just got a lot of insults from them and then carried on. Treasure World. Oh, do you love to see it. Not a ton of treasure, but some of those deposits look big. Not doing a bioscan because I've never seen anything alive on a treasure world, and I know that I did this particular star system previously, so I do feel that I would have probably made a note to myself. There were treasure monsters on that treasure world. Wom, wom, whoa, whoa, whoa. Ooh, that was a hideous moment there. Yeah, the idea of the treasure world, great concept. Same with the Auric world, but treasure world in particular. I feel like based on what I remember of watching the Ars Technica war stories about the development of this game, which somehow not a single spoiler implanted itself in my brain, so I don't remember anything like that they said. But they talked about how at one point they were trying so hard, or at least one of the creators was so fixated on generating scientifically realistic distributions of planets and stuff that it was like just absolutely swamping, like it was occupying all his time and not actually adding anything to the game. So I think in his process of letting go, like that must be where Treasure Worlds came in, because I don't remember, and admittedly I did arts degrees after I finished high school, but I don't remember ever learning in a science class about the existence of treasure planets. So I do think that they're a Star Control 2 original. And Happy Camper, I'm sure it's true. It's on with the disciplined practice. Yeah, Uria World. Boo. I'm sure with practice, you can absolutely beat those Vooks with any ship. But I do not, especially... oddly enough, even though I've probably used them more than any other ship, I'm not actually any good at all at navigating or fighting with the Earthling cruisers. Well, the red part is a gas giant, but maybe, just maybe, there's something good on one of these planets, and we might as well check while we're here. Ultramarine. It's as marine as a world can get. There are no ultramarine alien monsters waiting for us. The tectonics are good. The weather is promising. Let's hit it. Weather class 2. Yeah. I feel like we're here in Nova Scotia, all battened down from a major storm forecast. But it turns out that I don't know. I think we only wound up actually getting like class 1 weather in the end. Postponed the show last night because we were expecting to lose internet and everything. The Friday Night Forgotten Circle show. Just didn't do it, and in hindsight, hardly seems like it was necessary. But you know what? Maybe sometimes it's wise to take precautions even if the precautions don't turn out to be necessary. Or maybe the lesson is that if you take precautions once and they seem excessive, this world... I'm not going to say that this is like a degenerate world. Don't want to impute anything, but it's at least quasi-degenerate. And I love it. No degenerate monsters down there. The tectonics are not promising. Oh, but the exotic deposits are very promising. So we got to get down there, we got to get them, and we got to get out. This is tense. Oh no, I thought I was online with that. In line with that. To just grab it without deviating. Boom. Wow. That was a good haul. That was a very good haul. Thank you, Alpha Serenkov, Planet 7, Moon. Whatever. Moon 2. Well, seems unlikely that we're going to have multiple quasi-degenerate moons. But a boy can dream. They can never take your dreams from you. Halide world. Alright, they've taken my dreams. Time to give up. No, I don't want to interact with all these lousy Vooks. So let's just take comfort in the fact that they are very slow. And see if this is a radioactive planet. It's awfully red-orangish, which is promising. But it's almost too much to hope for. But hope springs eternal, baby. The atmosphere is a vacuum, and also it's extremely radioactive down there, so probably we're not dealing with any radioactive horrors. But just in case, did the scan, confirmed, nothing lives down there. It's not too hot. By not too hot, I mean it's extraordinarily cold. No weather at all. It's a vacuum. Decent tectonics. Here we go. Alright. Brave. Resource gathering heroes of Earth. With your absolutely terrible luck getting hit by multiple tectonic shifts at the same time there. And not going to be reassuring to the next crew that You do have to go back down there and take this risk again. But you do. I'm sorry. This is what you signed up for. I will never take advantage of the waivers you signed to literally sell you into slavery to the corporate devil aliens when we meet them. But I will absolutely put you in great harm's way for short-term profit. And to advance the cause of freedom in the galaxy. We should be clear. In fact, we should have reversed the order of those, maybe even not even mention the short-term profit part. Stick with the ideals. Ideals are a great way to manipulate people into risking their lives. It is worth risking your life for an ideal, soldiers. My goodness. Why am I holding down the comms button and just blasting my train of thought here to everyone on board? Okay. Can we get out of this conversation without inspiring them to murder me? Let's say nothing but conciliatory things. Oh, come on. Listen. I did have a fuller head of hair when I was younger, but at the same time, my posture is much better now. Well, how did you know that I was nodding my head? Oh, okay. Should I just wiggle my ears? Because I don't have that range of motion. Yeah, come on. Tell me the backstory. Yeah. I mean, listen, dude. I don't like to throw around accusations of racism, but it does seem a little extreme to hold an entire species accountable for an offhand remark by one of the billions of that species. I don't know. Maybe things are different for the Vooks. I mean, obviously. Well, that's a shame. Maybe I could apologize? Probably not. Although we're highly reasonable beings. This is I mean, there's a thing that the Vooks and the humans have in common, right? Call yourself a highly reasonable being while behaving unreasonably. Boom. Take this apology. What if I got down on my knees? Would that just remind you that you don't have knees? Okay. Has to be done. I'm sorry, Thwilly, because we could have crewed you up and this would be much safer for you. That was... Huh. This Vux's name is Ors. That's funny. Oh, hey, Abra. Hey, sweetie. Look at her. Doing great. She had major surgery middle of January. And she's doing great. Fur is ever so slowly coming back on her back. Pretty soon you won't even be able to see her scar. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Ah, this guy saw how it went for his friend. He's going to be a little more cautious. But eventually, if all you got is a short-range laser and you're the one who wanted this fight, you're going to have to come closer. You're going to have to come within range of the butt missiles. For any new viewers who think I'm being juvenile, I promise. Go check out the Star Control menu. These are butt missiles. It is what they are called. There we go. 2 down. I think there were 3 in this fleet. Not even. Of course, their ships are crummy and worthless. So we only get 300 resource units. Okay, no, come on. Just, I'm going to talk to the guy who likes humans. Just leave me alone. Hopefully, I haven't alienated the guy who likes humans by attacking other Vooks. Nope, he doesn't care. Well, I'm glad that you enjoy us. All it took, Waffle Syrup, was literally living through an entire timeline until the extinguishing of all life in the galaxy and then transporting my consciousness into another timeline. Easy. Easy peasy. I have come for the Shafixty Maidens. Bum ba dum ba dum bum 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 ba dum ba dum bum. Sir, just a little public speaking tip. If at any time you're talking about a hobby or an interest you have, and you pause ominously between the words my and the word hobby or interest, I was granted space here to pursue my hobby. You make it sound creepy. If you just said it, I was granted space here to pursue my hobby, my interests, my research. It seems less creepy, right? But it's the ominous pause that really makes someone go, do I want to know more about this guy's hobby? You go over to a new friend's house for the first time, showing you his home, you go, and you know, the basement's not finished, but I do like to go down there to work on my projects. Want to take a look? Only if there's no ellipse between my and projects do you want to go down into the unfinished basement of the person you just met. In any other circumstance, you've made a terrible decision. Alright. Yeah, if we could get this dude, if I could solve the riddle, or even if I had solved the riddle, in a different time, in a different place, a different you and a different me. Bum ba dum ba dum bum. Like I don't know if I'd even put the Vooks theme in my top 10 Star Control 2 themes. Or tracks, generally. And yet, it's excellent. Killer soundtrack. Eight-star constellation of the Lynch-Nas-Plo. Or perhaps the Linsis system. I gotta look up Linsis, find out what it means. Because I didn't solve this puzzle by deciphering the riddle. I solved the puzzle by looking at the star map for 8-star systems that had a name that started with L. I'm glad that you think I'm beautiful, because some of your compatriots said much more hurtful things about my physical appearance. And I did, I'm realizing just now, forget to moisturize today. So I'm not saying that I don't understand where they were coming from. I'm just saying that you don't have to say every thought that comes into your head. You can leave the hurtful ones aside. Okay. Well, we're not in a tight spot anymore, so we need a new name here. Oh. There. Problem solved. Sensore! Welcome back. So you've missed not all that much, because it all went to hell and the galaxy was extinguished of all life, and I've started a new game, and this is only day 2 of the new game. So in a sense, you've missed literally nothing because I've gone backwards. Okay, the Vooks are up. Let's look at the ship's manifest. How's my cargo? I have a little bit of free space and I have a pretty decent haul. I mean, particularly when you look at all those exotics that I got from that quasi-degenerate moon. No, I am going to play the Urquan Masters port in the fullness of time. I promise. Not necessarily as a full Let's Play, but I do want to check it out. But I am also a person who takes forever to do anything. So I didn't make the change. For example, Sensore, I figured out recently how to change the palettes when you launch a DOSBox game. For example, if you're playing a game in CGA, to get the alternate CGA palette that has red and dark green instead of cyan and magenta. And so I was able to get Wizardry, Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord, to display with the graphics as originally intended, and I did that after I'd beaten the game. And it did not take a short period of time to beat that game. So similarly, downloading a whole other version of a game that I'm already enjoying in this version. Oh, I just reminded myself. I need to be indicating which planets I've revisited in my sheet here. And I have now done so. Excellent. Which star systems? So Beta Mira. How was Beta Mira? I didn't tell myself. I wasn't kind enough to record what I found there for my future reference. That's okay. That's okay. Let's head to the Zeman system, because we do have biosamples, which would free up cargo space. We'll see what we can mine on the way home. Do we have the fuel to make it home? Yes, barely. So I guess going home is actually priority here. But let's stop. I guess we can buy fuel from the Melnorme if I'm concerned after I get there. It's probably Vook ships chasing me, since if they were Slylandro probes, they would catch me. Oh. Yes, she's right. It's just about 3 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, or as we call it around here. So let me I'm going to flip over, take a very brief intermission, folks, and I'll be back. Lunchtime! They are enjoying it, Sensore. I can confirm that already. Kind of wild. Every single day. Holy shit, he's gonna give us food again. Multiple times a day. They're astounded. He's coming through. Burp, burp, burp. Mm. Burp, 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 burp. Alright, 318 credits. Let's get some tech. Specifications for... Finally. So sick of these single-speed planetary landers. Got spoiled last time. Well, what do you have in the place, Waffle Syrup? Let's see if we can figure this out together. What do you have access to? That can be a problem. Here's a thing that a friend of mine who used to be like a chef, cook, whatever. Okay. So, British! Hail! So something that my buddy told me is that if you have 3 different food items in your home and you Google them together, you will find a recipe that someone has come up with for combining those 3 items. So maybe you can have ramen and X and Y. Yep. Just in time, British. I'm glad you didn't miss it. I know I want to buy the technology you described, but I wasn't actually listening to you. Okay. Well, I mean, you got ramen. I don't know that like and you're young and you're a student. So that's technically food. Like, it's technically a meal. At least for lunch. Lunch is the worst meal of the day. Just like, why am I a little bit hungry here in the exact middle of the day? Yeah. I don't know exactly how to make it, Waffle Syrup, but some broth, the ramen noodles, throw the eggs in, poach them or whatever. Probably be pretty good. I would like to buy this technology. Oh, whoops. Okay. We'll be back. I shall be leaving. It's been a pleasure dealing with you as well, Mr. Melnorme. We could all... I'd have some eggs right now, although I made burritos for lunch. I'm well fed. Well, take comfort, Sensei, in the fact that though eggs contain cholesterol, it has not been conclusively proven that they raise the level of overall cholesterol in the bloodstream. Or at least that's what I remember happening in being said in an episode of The Simpsons. And in that context, said by a propagandist for the egg industry. So, I don't know. Probably take it with a grain of salt. Not too much salt. Whoa. Ooh. Ooh, this world. It's so quasi-degenerate. I love it. And look at the size of that exotic deposit. Get in, get out. Don't even think about the tectonics. Oh, I think, at least if we're talking about seasons 1 to 8, we can mostly trust The Simpsons. I don't know if that's true. Actually, you know what? The Simpsons has a joke in... Oh, no, it's also extremely hot here. 3,533 degrees Celsius. Now is not the time to be trying that. Oops. Got some folks killed. We don't feel great. Yeah. Okay. Okay. You know what? Sometimes you gotta live with the consequences of your mistakes. I have enough money to replace the lander and the crew. Probably. So let's find out. Let's go home. Now that we've just had a terrible time here. And let me look. Beta Raynet. Gamma Raynet. I don't think I ever went to Gamma Raynet. So, let's go to Gamma Raynet on the way. It was definitely some kind of cool, exotic sounding thing, D. Holmes. Although we'll never know. Well, not that we'll never know, but we'll know after we buy the heat shields from our friend the Zeman. The Melnorme. I don't know that his name is Zeman. It seems unlikely, in fact, that he's named after the place that I happen to meet him. It's a very colonialist way of thinking about names. Oh, hello! Well, it's good to meet you. What can you tell me about your species? Oh, yeah. Contact alien species. Makes sense. Sounds good. Oh, hold on. They have a new behavior. Hold on. Which target are you? Alright, let's see what we can do. See what we can do, team. One hit. Okay, I got the better of that exchange. Not quite, but almost. All right, Captain Solo. You make it look easy, Captain Solo. The late Captain Decker did soften them up for you, but... Okay. Well, that wasn't, optimal. But like I was saying, sometimes you gotta just live with the consequences of the decisions that you've made. I just have to make sure not to live with too many consequences, lest I wind up in another unwinnable state. What do we got here? Wait, it doesn't matter what we got here. I have no planetary lander. Let's go home. Let's go limping home. Hopefully the commander's excited enough about the resources that he doesn't ask me how the crew's doing. I do really hope, win or lose, success or failure, that this run illuminates more to me about what's going on with the Slylandro. Are they a red herring? Do they play a critical role in the plot? Do they play a minor role in the plot? Can I find their homeworld? Can I learn more about them? Are they a teaser for a planned Star Control 3 that would never be made by this particular creative team? I don't know. Don't know, but one day I'm sure I'll learn, and that'll be cool. Because I do like learning things. Come on. Boom. To the earth. And here we go. Let's see how it went. Wait. Oh, hold on. When I looked at the star map. Okay, Spathi betrayal has not happened yet. For better and for worse, because at least when they betray us, I don't know. Maybe betrayal is too harsh a word, probably. But when they turn their backs on us, I feel comfortable saying they're going to do that, to the extent that they have backs. Once they've done that, we will have access to this device, which I believe is going to allow me to make some common cause with the Unga and start messing with the Ilrith. And the Ilrith are jerks. I don't like the idea of messing with them. Okay. Now let's go turn it in. Hello, Commander Hayes. No news is good news. Yes! Oh, D. Holmes, I am eagerly awaiting the next time anything is announced about something of the precursors, first of the... I can't remember what their name is. Obviously, it can't be called Star Control anymore. But I do know that they have the... This will really help. Okay, that's good. It's unfortunate how much of that money I'll have to spend getting a new planetary lander. But I did already get some fuel and some crew. Full crew. So Okay. You know what technology would be great if our Zeman friend, if our Melnorme friends could sell it to us. Ah, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Hopefully we hear about that sometime soon. I know that they like kind of went silent to let the dust settle and the amicability of the lawsuit settlement take form and to not compete with Star Control Origins. Okay. Okay. You know what? I don't think I need another ship right now. I think what I need right now is to keep making my ship... Oh, and I need a planet lander. That's unambiguous. But, I mean, faster and more turny are really the most important parts, I think. I've got 2 fuel tanks, and that's all I really need right now. I cannot afford better guns anyhow. Or point defense or any fancy stuff like that. So, let's say one of each. A little faster, a little spinnier. Yes, I've only managed to catch one of those. No, actually, that's not true. I've only managed to watch the recording of one of those, but it was really fun to watch, and I certainly am looking forward to seeing more. It's a tight time. Well, the February break will eventually come. In every winter semester, the February break must come. And although I do have to move, I'm hoping to do piecemeal packing over the course of the month, so that my February break is not consumed with packing. Time will tell. All right. No longer in a tight spot. We're ready. Head back out there. And I guess really right now, I must once again prioritize just collecting stuff. Hey? So let me look here. Where else have I found riches that I have not gone back for? I don't have the star map open. Instead, I have all the Ultima 6 documents open. So let me close those. Open my Star Control 2 docs. Pardon me for one moment. Press the old return button. There we go. Okay. Alright. So where's the Virginis system? There's at least one. Ah! Pretty close. I don't think I ever went to the Buddhist constellation. Bootis. So let's head that way for this particular expedition and see what we do or don't find. We want to get there without impinging on Ilrith space. So let's just chart a course for somewhere near Delta Virginis, and then we'll skip that right to Alpha Virginis. Because of the virgins, you do want to go with the Alpha. We're settled on dealing with virgins here. We'll take the Alpha if we can have them. Oh ho! What did you? I'm gonna guess, Sensore, that you mean you saw the Denis Villeneuve, like the new Dune movie. It is, isn't it? I am still just like mid Children of Dune in my reading, and I won't say anything about that. But how did you find the film? I still haven't seen it. I gotta watch that soon. Alright, closing in here, I believe, on Delta Virginis, where according to my records I will find nothing much. But it's a pretty straightforward constellation. So we just gotta go down to the end of it. I know that it's going to be reasonably faithful, but I'm also really interested to see the choices that were made. I do think, when I was finally reading Dune for the first time last summer, I was just thinking, like, I don't see how you can put this in a single feature film. So I was really glad when I heard that they went the abruptly stop in the middle of the book and just end the movie and then cross your fingers and hope they give you a sequel. Alright. Well, I know there's riches here because that's what I said to myself in my notes, and I trust the notes. But where are they? Gotta find it together. The casting looked really good, among other things. Well, base metals here on this alkali world. It's at high gravity. Not much fuel, but not many base metals either. Let's take a pass on this pitiful moon. This is more promising. Nice and abandoned. A little bit of tectonics, but we're really fast now. So I bet we can pull this off. There's a... What am I... I've got some sort of... with almost no connection to either Star Control or Dune except space travel. I've been watching Cowboy Bebop lately. It's my second time starting it. Although I did not finish it the first time I was watching it. Don't need these comments. We're out of here. Alright. I don't know that was actually worth landing on that opalescent world. Except just to, you know, give the crew a nice... I'm sure it's visually pleasing to be just chilling on an opalescent world. This is a gas giant, of course. But is the gas giant with a treasure moon? Whoops. I did that wrong. I meant to be pointing the other way, managing my momentum. Oh, no. The anime. Yeah, that dopamine hit. I gotta be fair and say that I haven't seen anything except like one promotional clip they put up of just like a random dialogue scene. But I mean, Netflix canceled it after one season. And Netflix likes to cancel things after 3 seasons. So that alone didn't give me high hopes. But that one scene I saw was so bad. It was just kind of like they were like, what this anime really needed was really bad Joss Whedon dialogue. So yeah, going through the anime for a second time. I'm only like 4 episodes in right now. They just teamed up with the lady whose name I can't remember. She wears yellow. She has purple hair. Not sure it's worth going back for these last few deposits, but it's also hard to say no to a planet made out of treasure. That's how they lure you in. Get you there with talk of the treasure world, and then boom, they're throwing you a pitch for a timeshare. Imagine if you could own a little piece of this treasure planet for 3 months of the year. Ultramarine, we got some noble elements, we got some base metals, we got some rare earths, we got enough. Oh, and things live down there. We do like when things live down there because we go and we zap them and we take them. But we don't kill them. We are kidnappers, not murderers. important moral distinction. Yeah, poachers. There. That's the more precise word. We're not even kidnappers. We're poachers. Nobody has ethical objections to poaching. Right? That's true, right? Whew. That was a near miss. Or rather, I remember someone, and this is something I should keep in mind given that I'm a technical writing teacher, but I remember somebody while talking about precision in language saying a lot of our sayings are, a lot of things that we say all the time are poorly calibrated for the purposes of clarity. For example, if you actually thought about the meaning of the phrase near miss, a near miss is a direct hit, right? That was near a miss. But alternately, you could be saying we missed, but it was near. At any rate, we've had some not misses now, which are easier to describe. We were struck by lightning, and people did die. No ambiguity there. I hope, if nothing else, that their families take comfort in the linguistic clarity of the announcement of their loved ones' deaths. Okay, come on. Papa needs a lightning shield. Okay. Ah! Stop killing me, lightning. Say the lightning never strikes in the same place twice, but it keeps striking right here in this planetary lander. Also, of course, it's utterly not true. The lightning never strikes in the same place twice. Especially when you get into considering the fact that things like lightning rods exist. Or just metal poles that aren't being carried around specifically for the purpose of being lightning rods. Ah, you know what? He can repopulate the species, assuming that they populate by splitting and subdividing. All right, took minor losses there. No big deal losses or anything. Don't tell the crew I said that. And I have tons of these examples right now because my students are working specifically on a mechanism description activity where they have to look at a CAD drawing, breakout drawing, and a few different assembly views of a simple device and then describe it in words. And so they're sending me their drafts and I'm saying, now, if someone read this, would they think that the axle goes through the wheel, or does it kind of seem like you said that the wheel goes through the axle? Or my favorite, if someone looked at this components list, would they think that there was only one screw and one bushing and one vertical support? Because a lot of them, for the components list at the start of the description, say the mechanism consists of the following components, and then just identify what types of components there are without saying how many. Things you would think would be intuitive. Or maybe I think that they're intuitive because I literally get paid to think about technical writing all the time. You're not doing this systematically, that's for sure. And we've got a planet that looks potentially habitable close to there. And also, this was the last known location of... well, the Virginus system is roughly contiguous with the last known space. Oh, yep, you definitely will. You will, waffle syrup. In the fullness of time, you'll see every mistakes you could have never possibly imagined that people would make. But it's just different things are intuitive and obvious to different people. And also a lot of students, especially when we get into with these technical writing assignments, instead of telling them how to format it, like I expect a title page and these headings and subheadings and this many sections and this kind of page numbers. Mike. That's great. Someone thinks my name is Mike. Students often think that my name is my surname because my surname is also a common given name. But I've never heard Mike before. But yeah, if you don't give specific formatting requirements, some students are just overwhelmed with anxiety. Get a lot of emails that are specifically like, please tell me exactly what you're expecting for the formatting. And I'd be like, I'm sorry, but my expectations for the formatting is that you will use the formatting tools we have discussed to produce a professional looking and navigable, functional, technical document. You gotta fly on your own. Yeah, grunty. Yeah, far from a miss. Language is a lovely thing, and even the English language is lovely in its own way, but it's also extraordinarily messy. That's without even getting into things like, oh, and by the way, Grunty T-Foot, welcome to the stream. Pleasure to have you here. Played a lot of Star Control 2 in your day. This is not my first playthrough anymore because I failed. Watched the Galaxy get cleansed back in episode 10. But it is still my first time through. Baby! Welcome back. Flexing that Founder's badge. Love to see it. Alright. Inward. Might as well check the cargo hall. Oh yeah. We're filling up, but we're not overflowed. I'll tell you my story, and sorry for the folks who have heard me describe my relationship with Star Control 2 many times by now. But I first heard of this game in the 90s when we first got the internet, and I read voraciously, try to absorb information, and especially because I was I love learning about video games that I've never played. So I was reading articles somewhere about games that I never played. Found a series of retrospectives on classic PC games. Classic, 4 or 5 years old at the time, PC games. And there I read about this game and I thought, wow, this game is so cool. It sounds so cool. And then it just never came into my circle. I never saw it anywhere. I don't think I ever spoke to it. Looking radioactive. No, it's carbides. That's why we have a scanner and we don't just trust the captain's visual intuition. I thought, yeah, this game sounds so cool. I never came across it. Even when we got to the point that GOG.com and Steam and all this stuff exists, it just never occurred to me. And then recently, I did start realizing, oh, hey, I can access all the games that I've read about on computers and never got to play and try them out. And so recently, I finally, 20 plus years later, finally sat down with this game. And it's incredible. I think young James probably had Excel. I don't know that he would have thought to use it. I think that young James, had he tried, would have not taken notes, got frustrated, been overwhelmed, grunty, coming back to your point, by the advancement of time and gone a running very quickly. I don't think I would have. Well, I do have the PDF of the star map, Pebby, so I can refer to that, and I didn't for a while. For the first maybe like 20 hours of my playing, I hadn't looked at it because when I looked at it, I thought, oh no, it shows you where all the aliens are. It's full of spoilers. And then when I had to try to find the Lindsys system, the Lynch Plow, no Plow, or whatever, to solve the Admiral ZEX mystery, Admiral ZEX, and find the thing that he wanted, I was like, okay, I'm going to unfocus my eyes and try to avoid spoilers. And it was then that I discovered the note on the map that says, these are the formerly known locations from before the end of the... And then I was like, oh, jeez. And now I just have it open. And it's there to help me. Like right now. Okay, so... Did I do the Torre systems in my previous playthrough? Because we're awful close to them. And if any one of those systems in that constellation has anything, I should get it. And I didn't go there last time. So let me go there now. Oh, it is... I mean, first of all, obviously different people have different levels of spoiler tolerance. It's totally possible to enjoy something that you already know the ending of. I find it possible too. But I do like, and I have been enjoying, with these older games that would have intimidated me when I was young, and the choices and the advancement of time and the lack of guidance would have overwhelmed me. I like to try to do them and figure them out, to prove to myself that I am now a mature and focused adult man who can solve problems. Okay, looks like I did go to Epsilon Tori, but none of the other Tori systems. So why don't we not go to Epsilon Tori, because I didn't write anything promising down about it. Let's go to Gamma Tori. We'll head up in this little area, and we'll hit some of these. Telescopy. The person who discovered and named the Telescopy constellation. I don't want to impugn their creativity. It is, Pebby. And, if I ever hit the point, I haven't yet. If I hit the point where I'm just like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, the map's advancing, the galaxy has been cleansed like 3 times now, and I'm just doing the same things, then I'll start poking around and see what I can learn. I made that rule for Ultima 5, and though it took me 100 hours to beat that game blind, I was very fortunate in that I never, ever turned it on without having anything to do. That would be cool. D. Holmes. Not having even seen Urquan Masters yet. But, I just knowing it's this, but then you can... I did not discover any words. Senzere. I think I felt like I was being very efficient because I had done a 2-hour trial before I started the stream, and I was certainly doing better than that. But I think in practice I was actually very inefficient. And I left a lot on the table, which is great because, quite frankly, this is a wonderful game and I can play a lot of it in the fullness of time. Okay, here we are. Let's bring it in. Lots of moons that could be promising. I don't really think this moon looks radioactive, but I'm not giving up hope. Until the moment. I've scanned it and it's just a lousy carbide world. Forget you, carbide world. Well, now I really want this green one to be a quasi-degenerate moon. Come on. Give it to me. Copper. Well, you know what you're going to find on a copper planet? Base-ass metals. That's true. There are contexts in which I've discovered words. And in a pinch, I guess I can start trying those here. Stimpinski! Hail! Oh, glad to see you, pal. You may or may not have noticed, but if you didn't notice, I'll let you know. I've started Ultima 6! And I'm making great progress. I already figured out all 8 of the mantras. Little Ultima humor for the diehards. It's fun so far. I will say that you can simultaneously look at it and be like, wow, this is a huge leap forward for the series and the genre as a whole, and influential, and so forth. Yep, that's the beauty of it, right? I put in the work to learn the mantras in Ultima 4. And now all I gotta do is not lose that index card. And I'll immediately complete that task in subsequent Ultimas. Yeah, you can simultaneously see how it's such a huge leap forward for the genre and the series. Like, it's doing all kinds of new things, bringing new things to the table. But at the same time, like, Ultima 5 was the apex of its particular line of development. It was as much as you could do at that time, at least, with that style. And Ultima 6 is the baby steps into something new. So it's not nearly so polished. Which is not to say, I'm not having a lot of fun with it. Probably going to wind up having to jettison some stuff here. Not that that's ever really that bad a thing, since you jettison stuff because you found more valuable stuff that you'd rather have. How is, I'm assuming, I was about to say, based on the fact that you have established names, Rizanto and even the swamp spider has Nyam. I don't know how to say that. But I figured you must have started playing. How is it? How are you finding it? Are you glad that you chose to be a spider riding beast man? Orc world. I love gold. Just a mess of references there to do the Dr. Evil thing while saying a gold member line, because Orc worlds are named have the same name as Orc Goldfinger. Anyway, it's okay. It's okay. All right, we got to get rid of some stuff because there's a lot of gold down there. Early steps. Nice. Is that is this the same group that you have the other game that also had pirates and stuff going on? No gold monsters down there. Just a recurring theme. Just you attract a pirate-loving crowd, or hating crowd, I suppose. Listen, mister, in this house, we hate pirates and we hunt them. Alright, keep on landing. Keep on absorbing all that precious gold. We haven't lost all kinds of crew members this time around. We've lost more than 0. Alright, let's jettison more cargo. Sorry, base metals. But unless alchemy was actually discovered while I was on Vela, and Commander Hayes just hasn't told me, we can't get gold from base metals. So. Ooh, okay. So it's not just hitting the high seas with like a letter of marque to hunt pirates. There's a whole thing going on. I'm normally all about, when I DM, the character building, the waffle syrup. I hope that you enjoy that paper. I'm going to have to, at some point, I need you to tell me about that course and what it's like. But I appreciate you lurking. It's good for the numbers. Haha. It's amazing how quick, how much someone's, spirit of altruism can be activated once you know there's money out there to be had. Okay, we're actually going to be heading home to Earth pretty soon. Yeah. You always hope the two yellows next to each other will both be Auric or Treasure Worlds. One of them's always a shitty Uria or Lanthanide world. Okay, let's do one more here. Hopefully find something. Take it home. Spend what we got. Looks like it's very, very hot on that inner planet. So yeah, I'm normally all about making sure there's lots of character and world and relationship building when I'm DMing. But I was about to say roped in. I am the one who said, it is Timpinsky. I did fail utterly to save life, and I watched the galaxy get cleansed, and this is part 2. This is episode 2 of trying again. I happened to die on I failed on a nice round number, at least. All right, another crummy world. Forget it. Okay, let's go home. Let's go back to Earth. I'll just head to this random point in space. And throw down a save in case I have to test my skills. Nice. What are your plans? Yeah, I normally want to go... I'm normally all about the character building stuff, but when I volunteered to do this D&D, I was playing Wizardry, and I was like, I just want to do a dungeon crawl. And so I wound up... I gave the characters all the gimmick. I was like, you can create whatever characters you want, but you're all starting with amnesia. Because we're not going to spend any time talking about our backstories. And then for our night one, with the need to do that tossed off, this is how it started. They wake up, and they're on top of a tall plateau. And everywhere they look across the mesa, there's nothing but these huge rock columns that look just like the ones they see. And they see pteranodons flying around. They don't know who they are, where they are. There's nothing up there but like some rocks. And I just laid that out, and I was like, all right, that's all I've got to say. We're not, and then I just let them mess around, figuring that they'd start doing things like, find little rocks and try to throw them at the pteranodons. But unbeknownst to them, but like 10, 15 feet out from the plateau they're on, there are traps that are triggered by any kind of concussive force that actually... Oh, time to try to course home now that we've circumnavigated Earth space to avoid being, spider murdered. And when they hit those traps, it would shoot a blinding flash of light, and then pteranodons would attack them. And if they messed around long enough and started like searching the floor, they could find little compartments that had like healing potions. And I forgot to mention, I took away all their weapons and put them all in cloth armor when they woke up with amnesia. So they could find like weapons, and they found like leather armor and decide who's going to take it. They found a bow, some arrows, all that stuff. And eventually, when they got brave enough to try climbing down the plateau, it turned out the whole friggin' thing's an illusion. And when you go down the rock spire, eventually you pass through the illusory wall, and you're just in a dungeon. So all the vast mesa was just an illusion on the very close to them walls that had the traps on them. And, it did take me about an hour to write down all the like DC checks that I would use and where the traps were and how I would respond to any particular thing they did and what would happen if they weren't doing anything and time just went by. But once I had that done, that was all the planning I needed. And the first session, I just told them, hey, wake up. I described it just like I just did. And then I just had to wait and react to what they did. And it got us through a whole really fun session. The players did all the work of having dialogue and everything. I didn't have to do anything. Ah, it's nice to see you too, Commander Hayes. I have some minerals. Oh, we're just warming up, Captain. Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Oh, a little more. And then... there's the mother lode. Bit by bit. Goodbye, Commander. Alright. We don't need to spend nearly so much of our resources on fuel and crew. But let's do it first. Let's crew up. Oh, we were very respectful, Stempinski. We did not, for a minute, think about storing them next to the base metals, let alone the common elements. Yeah, they're very much a rare Earth crowd. Eh. They don't even like to be around things that are too exotic. Big believers in tradition, the noble elements. Okay. I do think an additional storage bay, would be helpful. So that I can start really bringing the money, and then we can start really upgrading our ship. There we go. Okay. Little cushion of funds. Can't hurt. Okay, I think this is a good... I think we're in a good place to head back out into the world. Just gotta figure out back into the world. Okay, the Kaylee system. Where's the Kaylee system? Sounds promising, based on my notes here. Oh, and I didn't even go and write down for myself that I did something Tory. Oops. Anybody remember which of the Tory planets I was just at? For now, I'll record it in my log as something Tory. I made it inward to planet 4. I found riches. Okay, well, it's not as informative as it could have been if I was taking notes while I still had the thoughts in my mind that the notes are there to record. Okay, the Kaylee system is very promising in terms of what we can get from it, and it's not far. Why haven't I already done it? Perhaps I have, because I didn't do the responsible thing and mark it off as I did it, but there's only one way to find it. And we've got to save if I waste a bunch of fuel going somewhere I've already been, gathering stuff that I already have. So let's chart a course. I guess one way to find out will be that I said Epsilon Kaylee had the most stuff. So why don't we hit Epsilon Kaylee? And if I've strip mined that, I'll make it through my way through the constellation, hopefully find something. Here we go. Here we go. I would have to work out the physical logistics of it, but I would like to get my buddy Greg over here sometime to play Star Control 1. Take each other on. I have an ergonomic keyboard, which is remarkably unergonomic for two people trying to play. Ooh! I like that, Stempinski. Having a twist like that is great because you've got a twist in your pocket, but then there's always the possibility that your players get ahead of you. But if they do get ahead of you, you've got to, you have a reason why he wanted. You've got this information that he has, so you got a branch you can go down if they do figure it out. I think I did this. This is, well, I don't know. There's only 2 planets. I might as well just check them. Oh, of course. Alright. Taking a look. Last time I ran Call of Cthulhu, my players, I made a point to be as fair as I could be. And so the players did kind of... This is seeming familiar even more because I think that little seeds, and if they miss those seeds, they're still in a sensible, a plot where they do this difficult mission and then get betrayed is also a good plot that also opens up further opportunities for adventure. Like when you have more than one obvious path and none of them shut down possibilities or require you to kind of start from scratch, that's when you got a real nice kind of scheme laid out for yourself. Okay, maybe I didn't come back here, and maybe this is worth investigating. Let's see what we can do. Senzere, on the note that I was saying much earlier about how long it takes me to do basic sensible things, when we were talking about how I haven't switched to Urquan Masters, I am still playing this game by controlling navigation with the arrow keys of my keyboard while I have a gamepad in my hand where I'm pressing the buttons with my index finger. Just to be clear that I was not exaggerating when I said that it can take me forever to do very simple things, like just figure out how to get a good key binding so I can just play on the keyboard. A metal world. It's full of metal. Go friggin' figure. Where do they come up with this stuff? Alright. Oh! That was terrible. Tough to predict being hit with 4 simultaneous earthquakes. Oh, come on. Okay. Oh, jeez. I was even full and I was still just down there messing around. Alright. We gotta save. We're gonna eat our losses on that, but that is not a habit. I don't want to get into the habit of watching a bunch of people die. Am I thinking of the right game, Stimpinski, when you say... Hold on. Gotta do a quick Google here. Yeah, wow. I'm impressed. Yep. Oh my goodness, Stimpinski. I think my method is downright practical, even though the keys and the buttons won't even register if I press them simultaneously, so I must always stop navigating if I want to shoot. It still seems... wow. Respect if you're getting anywhere in that game, because I found that game reasonably challenging, just playing it with a gamepad, a natural feeling setup. Congratulations. I also beat it on normal, did not go any farther. Are you going back for new game pluses or hard mode or whatever additional challenge that game can offer? Did I do the purple moon already? Not sure that I did. Oh, cool. Yeah, I didn't spend a ton of time with the game, but I had fun with it while I was playing it. Oops. Okay. So, I'm going to correct an error in my spreadsheet where in the Cayley constellation I described a planet or a system as Delta Epsilon when I'm quite confident I meant to say Delta Cayley. Wow. Yeah, when I was blowing through that, it never even occurred to me that I was making any decisions at any point, except to, like when to dodge. Ooh, ooh. What are the mechanisms by which you make peace with a boss? Now I'm closing in on, this is very likely a Selenic planet or some, yeah. Oh, just like if you haven't moved after this many seconds, then neat. I really like when choices and branching paths in games can be, kind of navigated within the gameplay system without needing to literally give you a list of choices and have you make one. Like some of the different little, like the plot. Oh, pellucid. Oh. That world is fairly pellucid, but not as pellucid as we would have liked it to be. Never as cool as both the name and the palette would make you hope they would be. The Sumerian worlds. Hey, speaking of Sumerians, anyone see that poster? Arnold's going to star in a movie. He's playing Zeus. Put the teaser poster out. He's got the big awesome beard. Listen, I will go see a movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger plays Zeus. Excellent. How did you make your eggs, Kzer-Za? I'll go see a movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger plays Zeus. Even if I hear it's bad, I will watch it. I promise. So the marketing has worked on me. But it also just continues to irritate me that Arnold Schwarzenegger has been out of politics, back into acting, and also old for like a decade now. And we have no King Conan movie. Enjoy, Kzer-Za. I won't lie and say that I would make my eggs like that, but I do not judge other people for liking things that I would not personally like to eat. So I hope you like them. I mean, I can't imagine why you would. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not even like that's a twist on Conan. Literally the first Conan story is an old King Conan story. The first one, Robert... Mr. Conan author. That's gonna bug me. Excuse me a moment, folks. Robert E. Howard. Very first Conan story he ever wrote. I've been there, Kzer-Za. Heading down the Kaylee belt, one at a time. Oh, continuing to try to stick to my habit of eventually finishing all my thoughts. Like in Dark Souls 3, the on the yelling arg note, Arnold Schwarzenegger is underrated, I would argue, as an actor, but certainly not in the sense that he was already a good actor when he was starring in those Conan movies. So I bet they could get some of those callbacks in, and also that he would play them really well. But I feel like the sky is the limit with Arnold Schwarzenegger as King Conan. Get a good director on that. Get Ridley Scott. Come on. Treat it like a big, wild historical epic set in the Hyborian Age. Yeah. The bullshit era that didn't, not bullshit, but the made-up era of history that didn't ever actually exist. Yeah, in Dark Souls 3, like, for example, you can... what happens to, I think the character's name is Henri, and how you affect that quest line. Like, some of the actions involve stuff like just figuring out, or being told by a wiki, that there is an invisible force, an invisible stalker of the creeps that want to sacrifice Henri, lurking in a certain church when Henri is there, and knowing... You gotta know they're there, and then you gotta choose to kill them if you want to disrupt their plot. You got to make sure that you don't, in the course of just running around smashing everything. This is Dark Souls. Sometimes you want to do that. You got to make sure that you don't accidentally kill them. If you want the plot line. Oh. Metal monsters. This is a rich world. It's also... There are serious risks involved in going down here. I should look in... Gotta put that on my list of things people have told me about. Because I love the setting. And am kind of bored of the default kind of D&D setting. So... That's something I should be checking out. Okay, this is like nothing too, like, it's not enormously risky down here. It's just an accumulation of risks. Because we got moving creatures, we got non-zero, we got tectonics and weather that are enough to be concerned about, especially since gotta do a fair bit of standing still in the combat portion of the planetary exploration. Okay, here we go. Get in, get out. We are in great shape so far, team. Not a single loss. At a certain point, I should say, you know what? That was a good first go. There's another thing that I kind of get bored sometimes with D&D combat because it can take so freaking long. So everything you're saying is speaking my language here, baby. And anyone who's here earlier heard me complaining that Fireball is still a big, powerful spell, but it's not like a mini nuke like D&D 1. Yeah, this sounds cool. I gotta look into this. Like the last thing I need in my life is to be learning a whole new set of role-playing rules and then trying to put a group together to play them. At the same time, the particular set of role-playing rules you're describing sounds like exactly what I need in my life, so It's a paradox. That could have gone a whole lot worse. Alright, let's zip over here, get these base metals. Get some more bio samples. Okay. Full on minerals. Let's get a few more bio samples. And let's get the hell out while they're getting good. Well, I talked a good game about getting out while the getting was good. Okay. Let's learn the lesson of that time that we did not get out while the getting was good. Let's go down again. And this time, let's get out while the getting is good. Mammoth Ego! My cousin, my dear cousin. Welcome! Welcome. I gotta tell you at some point, just so I don't invite you over sometime, you come in the wrong place. I'm moving at the end of February. Don't worry, not far. No! That could have been a worse landing than it turned out to be. Yeah, it's a pretty nice place. Or else I would not be moving in the middle of the winter semester while I have 600 students across my 2 classes and job applications and interviews and so on and so forth. Boom. Permanent transformation into a werewolf. That's a great curse to just randomly chuck on somebody. Especially if you have a long-term campaign. Just get it on them early and be like, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to... the entire rest of the game for you is about managing your werewolf curse. And making sure every time you stop in a tavern for dinner that they aren't using silver cutlery. You drop your fork, it sticks in your thigh, and you instantly die. It's a rough situation. Yeah, the class sizes are large in the winter for me, and yeah, I mean, I suppose you've got the skills, right? Or at least the instincts to set the cutlery aside altogether and just slurp it right off the plate. Okay. Good, getting good. Got it. Oh, and hey, to go on for a little preview for anyone tuning in tomorrow for Ultima 6, I think we'll head to Pause. Now that you mentioned Pause. It's time I left Britain and get out on the road and found out what was going on around Britannia with these gargoyles. See if anyone wants to... I want to just flag down every peasant I meet and be like, do you understand why this game is called The False Prophet? Because it seems like it should... So far, it feels like it should be called Ultima 6, The Gargoyles Attack. But I'm sure that'll become clear in time. Alright, we're getting a little trim on crew. That's a necessary upgrade when we go back from this Kaylee expedition. Another crew pod. Against all odds, Stimpinski, I liberated the Shrine of Compassion in Britain with not really too much trouble. and then was told by David Ale, who may or may not be in the audience right now. I bet against it. Probably say hi. But who has done Let's Plays of all the Ultimas, I think, by this point. At least all the mainline ones. He told me that that's actually a hard fight. But I got lucky. And just while I was wandering around the shrine trying to decide which angle to attack from, I just happened to get in the exact right spots to keep on aggroing just one big gargoyle so he would come out and let me kill him so we could gang up on them one at a time. Got it clear. Did some meditating. Got a stone. Not entirely, like sometimes they came in duos, but I think in total there must have been like 3 big ones and 3 small ones or something like that. And just without even planning to. Because like this was when I was just trying to go to Cove that I managed to get a lot of them just come away and get killed. So when I finally went to liberate the shrine, there were 2 gargoyles there. I was laughing. All right. Let's look at let's check the cargo hold here. How are we doing? We got a little bit of lots of things. Okay. And a ton of room, so I mean we might as well get down there. And grab these base metals. It is extraordinarily cold and relatively safe. Yikes. Yeah, I need a crew pod next. It's just not comforting to have only 50 total crew. It's the hardest part about starting over is pretty much the one thing that was really going well for me right when it all fell apart and I watched the galaxy be cleansed of all life by the Korra. The big thing I had going for me was that I had bought all the tech upgrades from our friends the Melnorme, and I had figured out what those weapon slots mean for the ship, and the ship was getting well equipped, and we were as fast as we could be, and we had a big fuel tank and huge capacity, and we had a good economy cycle going with the resource units. And then you start over with knowledge, but you don't get to bring any of that back with you. Alright. I don't think I checked this moon yet. And it just feels like it could be radioactive. It's not, but it's metal. And that ain't nothing. Any metal monsters down there? No. Neither the weather nor the other thing. The tectonics are great. So let's just keep on. At this point, 22 crew members left. We should oops. That's not what I meant to do. Come on, Ensign. You should only obey orders from your captain when you know it's what he meant to say. Or do. When I make a mistake, Ensign, you should anticipate and correct it. Respectfully, because I am your captain. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Ah, no! Alright, we're off to a terrible start, but it was worth it for these supplies of uranium. Oh my goodness. Getting zapped all over the place. Okay, good haul. Get out. We don't need to worry about that last supply of precious minerals. Have a quick space funeral. And then out the torpedo pods. Burial at space. Sumerian. Alright. This is Planet 1, so we're done with Gamma Kali. Let's head along to Beta Kali. Oh yes, that's right. I do know Greek alphabetical order. To like a 5. Gotta mark off in my records. Yep. Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Epsilon, Eta? Oh, I literally was just looking at the Greek alphabet the other day. Because I'm packing, so I found my old ancient Greek textbook. From when I took that as an elective as an undergrad many years ago. Gotta hang on to that just in case I ever need to translate some ancient Greek. Just hopefully, if I ever do, it will be in the Attic dialect. I certainly didn't do enough ancient Greek electives to start learning the different dialects. When I took intermediate ancient Greek in my second year, there was a day where all the other students in the class, they're like, "We've been meaning to ask you, how come we never see you like around the department or in any of our other classes?" And I said, "Oh, well, I'm an English major. I just took this as an elective." And they were like, "Why? Why would you take intermediate ancient Greek as an elective? What is wrong with you?" We are forced to do this. There's no reason why you should be here. And to be fair, they were right. But I thought it was fun. Translate Plato's Apology on the weekends. I guess the idea... I thought Greek was fun. But Censore, I think the idea was that they were like, why wouldn't you take Latin? An extremely, regular language in the sense that, it has some pretty standardized grammatical rules you can learn. Whereas when you take ancient Greek, every single lesson about ancient Greek is like, so here's the grammatical rule, and then you learn the grammatical rule, and then they say, and now here's a long list of exceptions that do not follow any sort of system which you will have to memorize individually. So it's apparently considered one of the harder languages to learn for that reason. Although, not trying to brag or anything, English is like that, but just not as absurdly so. But it is. And like even some of the mnemonic devices we use, I before E except after C. I before E except after C, and a whole bunch of exceptions because there's not actually a rule about this. You'll just have to remember each spelling individually. It's another thing. I like to bring out some of those sayings when I'm explaining the concept of being precise in the things you say to my students in your writing and stuff. In their writing, see, that one follows the rule. That is how receive is spelled. Yes. Yeah. What are some other good sayings that are not precise? When you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. Should be, when you assume and then proceed as though your assumption was now a fact, that you could behave as though it were true, instead of testing your assumption to see if it can be falsified, you make an ass out of you and me. Honestly, that's what, English is my language, and that's how I learned it. They don't do a ton of grammar in our schools anymore. Just marinate in it and figure it out. I learned more grammar. I learned more English grammar from learning. Yep. Thank you, Grunty Foot. T-Foot. Just like not really a super helpful mnemonic device. 30 days, half November. April, May, and November. All the rest have 31. I mean, that one works up till there. That's actually very helpful. But then if, it plays itself off like it's a poem. But to complete the thought, you would have to then go, except for February, which has 28, except every fourth year when it has 29, so that we can correct for a minor. That's so much better. Abjunsano. I'm using that. From now on. That's a way better way to remember which months have which number of days. And of course there's only 12. So I suppose we always have the option of just remembering 12 different figures. Come on, Kzer-Za degenerate. Oh, of course, they're not going to tell me once we get into the orbit. I got to hit the scan. Nah. Magnetic. That's true. It's so different from the other ones. Well, we're looking at extreme risk here for a fairly small deposit of exotics. So let's mentally commit to loading this save as many times as it takes to do this thing right. Or to realize that that's like one Zoe crystal and it's not worth going down for. No, that looks like more than one, I think. I want to believe. Nine. Heck yeah. Okay, now grab as much other stuff as you can, crew. Quickly, quickly. Crew, I love zinc and nickel so much, there's not a single one of you I wouldn't sacrifice for another unit of it. Okay, get out of there. Haha. Ah, if only we could find the Kzer-Za Haderach. However that's supposed to be pronounced. I'd be lying if I said I can remember, because I haven't watched the original Dune in years. The David Lynch one. And I never saw the miniseries. And I haven't seen the new film. But, yeah, if we... Geez, we'll turn the tables on the Urquan when we get the Jihad going. I saw a really good meme that took it took the Seinfeld scene where Kramer describes how he wound up, like, some crazy shit happens on a bus that he's on and he winds up driving the bus while he's fighting a guy. And they took the images from that scene and then overlaid text about Dune. And I mean, it would be impossible for me to... Hold on. What if I type Seinfeld Dune meme? If I do that, I will instantly find the link to the exact meme I was talking about and share it in the chat. Kzer-Za Haderach. Okay. I'll get that in the fullness of time. Alright. Let's check the old ship's manifest. We are low on crew. There are qui. Yeah, there are some times when I'm good at pronouncing things, and sometimes when I'm not. And this is certainly an example of something I don't feel super competent to pronounce. Yeah, we got a good haul, but I mean, we might as well at least finish off the Kaylee system here. So let's leave this beta in the dust and go to the Chad Alpha Kaylee. How do the incels settle on Chad? It's the official name for the men they focus all their resentments on. Not saying there's anything wrong with the name Chad. That is a skill that I would like to have too. I remember doing a quiz that was like, can you name all these like it was cities around the world or something, U.S. states, but like by figuring them out from their IPA spellings, and it was neat. I had fun doing the quiz. I don't know that I developed the skills that I needed to Kzer-Za Haderach. At any rate, I'll just be copying the movies soon. Although, I guess we can never be 100% sure. Like in, what's it called? Batman Begins? Like, Ra's al Ghul. Like, hold on, sir. Like, I've always called this character Ra's al Ghul. And so does the Batman cartoon of the 90s, which I consider authoritative, even though there's no reason to consider it authoritative. Except that just... it's my preference. Kevin Conroy is my Batman. Mark Hamill is my Joker. Azure World, I'm sure it's beautiful down there. Do we want to risk everyone's lives for some base metals? We do, but we don't want to take actual risks, so we'll throw down a save. Oops. Alright. We do the scan. We find out that the tectonics are very dangerous. The captain turns to the crew. He says, raise your hand if your favorite color is blue. Oof. Okay. Come on, team. Honor their sacrifice. No, this was... I feel like I made the wrong call. By coming down here, none of these deposits are big enough to justify the loss of life. Alright. I think you've got a... there's enough of a lineage there that we can go with it. And yet, of course, I'm not getting... I'll have to see the film, listen to the audiobook, something, to also nail that pronunciation. Okay, much safer here and also much more rewarding. Now me and the ensign can have a very frank conversation. I think we're alone now. Doesn't seem to be anyone around. Oh, come on. I feel like that cloud was targeting us. How have we made out for cargo? Yeah, we filled the main one and a lot of the next one. And it's still not as big of a haul as I would like. So let's let me... oh, everybody's dead. We should go home and hope that I can buy another crew pod and fill it. Let's find out. Here comes the salt. Doo-doo-doo. Wait, what about these Lyrae? Did I hit them? If I did, I never recorded it. I suppose there's no harm in checking on the way. Alpha Lyrae, you're in the hot seat. Chart a course. Ensign, make it so. And we're doing here. I should, at this moment, since plug my phone into charge, and therefore, if anyone's been sending me messages, by anyone, I mean my lady, I have not seen them. Haven't missed any messages. Woo! I'm covered. When we get closer to 5, take a short intermission, just to go get my phone, which should now be fully charged. And also just probably, especially at my age, should do an intermission, you know, every hour just to stand up and maybe like touch my toes or something. I say at my age, and yet when I was like 29, I had to bend my knees to like a 30-degree angle to touch my toes. That was when I started doing yoga. So now, heading into my, I guess, late 30s, I'm actually far, far, far more flexible than I ever was as a younger person. So in some ways, aging in reverse. Just not in the literal way. And actually, my hair is also thicker than it was in my 20s, but that's because I make enough money to eat better now, I think. I do think that generally I am advancing forwards in time. But yeah, recently now, like, I am almost at the point of like touching my knees with my, like, getting my head between my knees in a forward fold, which is pretty cool. It's not a skill you can apply in a ton of places. But it does feel good to just be like, used to be unable to touch my toes with my hands while bending over, and now I can practically touch them with my face. Alright, here we go. Scanning. Some rare earths. A little bit of noble elements. No ultramarine creatures down there waiting to devour us. Let's go. Now the ensign. Oh, goodness. Come on. Bullshit lightning. Alright, we are limping on home. That was at least one possible interpretation of the term near miss. Could be used to describe that. Okay. Okay. Do we do the other Lyrae system? No, I feel like at this point the remaining 11 crew members who aren't me would not take kindly if I said, let's go further from our home right now. I think, oh, you know, it's not 11. We have 3 ships in the fleet. I don't think they'd be comforted by that. We don't want a mutiny. That would be quite a way to hit a failure state. The crew, represented as just a bunch of numbers, have all killed you. They've ejected you into the vacuum of space. Okay. Let's see if we can just... Let's make sure. Just make sure they know we're on a mission of peace. Maybe we can sort something out here. Okay. We're both on a mission of peace. We have common ground. Oh, what's your new behavior? Oh. Well, felt like we were finding common ground at last. Jackalopes, I have not, because I failed. This is episode 2 of attempt 2, so I'm still in the get enough resources to be any good. Czer-Za, you didn't, and that is really something I should look into. I mean, at this point, I've probably seen enough of the aliens, enough of the ships to, oh, yeah. That would be a fun crossover. Thank you for I will look into this. In the fullness of time. Oh, come on, man. Come on. No, it's no fair if you don't let me get ready. Alright, I'll take it. They are brutal. They're the one thing that I'm absolutely I just cannot get anything done against them with the eluder. I suppose I would be more open to practicing. It's just with the eluder, they're so good at going, oh no, let's just wait. That it's really hard to get them with these slow moving, not very long range butt missiles. I think Czer-Za, that I did start catching clues in their dialogue I'm not sure if this is the clue you're thinking of, and feel free to leave me in the dark, and we'll see if I can work it out eventually. But they did eventually start kind of giving their own coordinate system that I thought maybe I can reverse engineer their point of origin from it. But I never got around to doing that before the galaxy was cleansed of all life. Okay. Hey, Commander Hayes! Thank goodness you didn't ask me how the crew's doing. I'm just warming up though, don't... Yeah, see? We haven't even gotten to the real good stuff. Not so bad, not so bad. Very precious. Very radioactive. And we like to keep things a little exotic too. Okay, there we go. That's not such a bad looking number. And I often ask them, are you looking for the mother lode? What? No, my child. It's not my desire. Any Pixies fans in the audience? Am I just making references to amuse myself? Alright, there. Crew replaced. No big deal. Again, please don't tell the families I'm saying these kinds of things. We don't need to buy that much fuel, so let's see. Okay, we have resources to work with. We need a crew pod, and it costs a lot. So that's the big purchase this time. Purchased. Crews, you know, they can have some nice separation from each other. They don't, if they break into factions, they don't have to be right on top of each other, but they're also close. So if you're dating a woman and the other, nah. I could, yeah, D-Homes, I could do that. I don't know how comfortable I'd feel telling them that. Or, you know what? Because Senzere, I think, is right. I do think that being enslaved by the corporatist devils might be even a fate worse than just dying in the service of freedom and humanity and all the free peoples of the galaxy. So maybe the key is we go and we tell them that we sold their children into slavery, and they get upset about that, and then we say, no, they're dead, and then it cushions the blow, right? People like it when you mess with their emotions about their dead children. Oh yeah, the culture of the Druge was not appealing. That's fair, Holmes. Because, like, as long as they're down there, it's not like they can get to me. I just gotta turn off the communicator if the crying starts making me feel too bad. Okay. So, we're starting to get... Oh, I gotta crew up. Why am I doing another save right now? Do a little spin here. Return to dock. Oh, yeah. Starting to get real smooth with the piloting. Now that we have acceleration and turning capacity. Head to the shipyard. Who wants to sign up for... service on an adequately crewed vessel? Like, that's appealing. Especially for the highest ranking people, who are that much less likely to be assigned to a planetary lander mission. Very good. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Alright, need a new save name. Yeah. And you never need a new save name. But I feel like, you know, things are coming along. Keep the whatever. What am I saying? I don't know what I was trying to say. I'm going to say, baby, we got a stew going. Because I do love Arrested Development. One of those disturbing things where Arrested Development is now like a classic show to an enormous extent. Like when I was a kid, it would be like if I was watching like MASH. Not that there's anything wrong with watching MASH. MASH holds up, I'm sure. I haven't seen that much MASH lately, but I'm sure it holds up. But time after the turn of the millennium is a weird, flattened thing to me. Oh, check the cargo hold. How are we doing for bio samples? We have enough to go get more technology. So let's do that first. I'd be lying if I said I'm sophisticated enough of an audiophile to know what it means that the sound emulation is aliased, but I certainly agree that everything about it, like, I'm relentlessly charmed by everything about this game, including the sound design. So I agree, without understanding. Here we go. Alright. So on the way back, I hit Alpha Lyrae and it wasn't bad. So let's make a thing for that. Spreadsheet. Remember to italicize it so I know that I hath gone there. Bum 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 bum. Ah, yes. Okay, I do know what you mean now, and I agree. It does add to the charm. Well, I agreed before. But I agree and understand. I'm aware of what I am agreeing to. I guess I should go back to Vela. Just for the, presumably Captain James would actually care to know what's happened to his family and stuff. Just, for role-playing purposes here. Hey, buddy! Here we go. Hey, at least it was Kzer-Za. Kzer-Za, Captain. Hishide expressed great interest in your explorations and struggles against the Urquan. I gotta help the Zoq-Fot-Pik. Just like Oliver Etsy. I missed my cue. Hishide were hesitant to introduce them for fear of, frightening me. This is... okay. I need to take a close look at the review screen of that dialogue. Akil Verdizi. Okay. Melnorme at Zeman had contact with Keel Verdizi. They are interested in the struggle. But yes, we should now, I think, maybe perhaps even on this very expedition, go ally with the Zoq-Fot-Pik and meet the Korra. Get that chain going. But first, I do have some things I would like to sell to you, sir. This data. Very good. Brings me to a total balance of 256. So I can get one new technology. If a store in the mall just playing the Melnorme music all day, it would work to get me to shop there more. All right, planetary lander improvement number 1, which is a very good one to have since we are going to need to go soon. Also, got to get things going to save the Kunk. Thank you. I cannot promise you that the crew... Listen, I can tell them not to. Once they're down on the planet, they do start feeling like they're not being, supervised. Blueprints which show how to increase... What? That'll be a good one to have too. So, this isn't precisely true. I do want to purchase more, but I cannot yet. I haven't, Senzere, but that does sound interesting. Let me add it to my list of things people tell me I should check out. The day will come when I will be able to say, yes, I have heard some of my favorite Star Control 2 songs played in a thing, tracker software. Okay, there's a thing we can get going, but we should, for it, oh, hold on. What's the fuel situation to get up there? Yep, we got the fuel. Let's do it. Let's... Ooh. Well, that I can do much faster. Watching a video. Oh, teach me about it. It's on my list. Okay. I should save. Because we do got a stew going. We don't want to accidentally spoil a stew. Alright. Now, the official Zoq-Fot-Pik planet is the one at 400-543.7. So let's do that. And then from there we'll go home while trying to the fullest extent we can to harvest along the way. Alpha Tukane. Alright. There's no getting around a difficult combat here, although if you were here at the moment that all of my dreams fell apart in the first playthrough and the universe was doomed, one consolation as I watched the galaxy be cleansed of all life is that I did manage to win a fight from scratch, so to speak, with the Korra vessel using an eluder. So we'll try to do that again. Not saying I will succeed, but I'll try. Okay, I gotta say, I'm glad you said that, sir, because I was initially very worried that you were going to harm me. I can't tell that you have appendages, but... Okay, what's your mission? Oh yeah, it's reasonable. We all need materials. I'm looking for materials. I don't replicate, but we hire crew. We're trying to contact life forms. We have a lot in common. Oh yeah, where is your point of origin? Oh. Okay, I hope the new behavior dictated is... Oh, it's not. I was thinking maybe open trading channels. Swap recipes. Here we go. Okay, well. This one started good. Oh, I have no doubt, Senzere. I have no doubt that I'm going to be very interested when I learn the story behind these probes. Alright. I think I'm going to give myself a do-over on that. Especially because I said that thing I should go back to Vela. So I might as well do that before I set it. All the more reason. Not that I couldn't just go to Vela now by turning around. Alright. Let's do this more successfully. 2156. We got 3 years to the end of the galaxy. That's not super comforting. But at the same time, we've made progress much faster than we did when we were at this point before. Alright. Your words are reassuring, and yet I am very afraid that you're going to harm me. I am terrified, sir. Alright, let's try again. Captain Solo. Come on, accelerate. And... okay. Alright, first pass went well for the good guys. Ah, oh. Alright. Hardly a flawless victory, but we don't need the Earthling cruisers to fight the Korra because Earthling cruisers are just that's a... it's not even a workout for the... oh, it's like the stretching routine of the Korra to kill an Earthling cruiser. Okay, come on. Manual navigation to the Vela star system. And they say you can never go home again. Might as well save to celebrate our sort of successful dogfight there. Ah, sort of. I won without the ship being exploded. That's just a win. In fact, let's crew the ship back up. Probably weren't a lot of volunteers for that assignment. The ships that only fight the Slylandro probes and are extremely unlikely to defeat them without casualties need to be restocked. Raise your hands, you noble heroes. Not falling for it. Corrosives. You always hope it's going to be radioactives, and it's always corrosives. So we make our way in. You know, in theory, Captain James probably ought to have strip mined all of the uninhabited planets of the Vela system before he even left. Who am I to second guess Captain James, though? Okay, here we are. Whoops. Ah, yeah, it's true. We wouldn't have any method of processing the resources. So then I suppose you're just ladening your ship down with stuff you're not sure you're going to use. Especially when we immediately made it to Earth and we're told, hey, could you go get some radioactives? You do start with a lander. But it's not like... it doesn't seem likely to me that they'd be able to do anything with the resources. It's pretty. It seems violet. It's a gas giant, so what are we wasting our time here for? Alright, come on. Be some kind of... be noble. Noble world. Noble world. It's so nice when it happens good. Alright. This is straightforward enough. Just try not to run that lander into any earthquakes while you're down there, crew. And technically, given that Captain James is navigating this drone from the deck of the returner, why does it need a crew at all? Like, planetary landers are a real technology that human beings have invented. And we do not crew them. Alright. Popeye home. I was way too casual about approaching the ship. What kind of ship is this? Yeah. Don't you have bigger problems, sir, than concerning yourself with my comings and goings? I did note that. You didn't give them a space station, though. Killing me doesn't finish the job of putting the humans of Vela under a slave shield, sir. Offering me the opportunity to land on Vela. This is a... This is going real good for the good guys so far. No, no, no. I see the planet. Thank goodness. It glanced in my peripheral, in my side mirrors or whatever. At just the right moment there. Lord. Lord. Ah! Okay, took some hits. Took some hits. But not nearly quite so many as Lord 237 here has taken. Okay, that was unfortunate. This fight was going great until that exact moment. I mean, it's still going well. We have won. Not bad. Wild that you really don't gather that much. I guess it makes... the Slylandro probes, it makes sense. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. It's all coming together. I wasn't lying when I said I'm actually good at video games. It's just it's taken a while, but it's getting there. Okay, we'll save that. We're gonna call that a win. We're going to. Oh, they're not. I think they are. I feel like the Urquan, like the Kzer-Za dreadnoughts are a little. I find them a little easier than the Korra predators or whatever they're called, because that their little like homing attack that actually marauders. Thank you, Sensore. Their little attack where they send out their own crew as like little homing missiles. While that attack puts a lot of pressure on you to keep moving and evading, what it also does is it creates a system where if you can, navigate them to get hit by an asteroid or, send butt missiles into the cloud, you can chip away at their crew in that way. Kzer-Za definitely... Yeah, the other... Oh my god, yeah, because I found when I finally got it going against the Korra, the trick was kind of, you gotta let them come close enough that they do their like bullet hell shooting move, because you need them to drain their own batteries so that you can then they will stupidly keep trying to shoot their saw blades at you, and if you can get on the right angle, you can pound them with butt missiles. All right, This Redux world is pulling some tricks, I do believe. Nobody living down there in the vacuum. It's reasonably safe. So, who knows? What if my instincts are wrong and these are all radioactives? I know they're not. I know I'm setting myself up for disappointment. Sulfur. Lots of sulfur. Some iodine, some fluorine. Well, make sure you put all this stuff in the corrosion resistant part of the storage pod, crew. Alright. Yeah, whatever. It's not the important part. We've learned something of personal significance to Captain James, and I don't know what game or plot significance it will turn out to have, if any. But we've learned it again in this world. We have revisited the Vela system, which means I gotta go in here somewhere and I gotta put a thing in italics. Senzere, I would say not real far at all. But what I did do was I saw a bunch of things that I could have done differently that would have got me on the road, including when we do finally go home, learn that the Spathi have abandoned us. Thank goodness that the data banks of that ship are still functioning. So now we know where our foes are. Yeah. I feel like very, very soon I'm going to start making moves to accomplish things that Oh, they have abandoned us. We just got to get home and learn that they've abandoned us, and then go and find the present they left us, and then go see if the Umga will be a little more open to being nice to us if we can offer them playing a cool trick on the Ilrith with this broadcasting device. We can pretend to be gods, is what I assume is going on. And of course, we're also going to start the Yehad Civil War before the Pekunk go and commit suicide. I hope. And all of those are going to be vital steps, I assume, in the battle. To free the galaxy. Free/save. Because, of course, the Urquan themselves are having an ideological battle about whether to enslave/murder the galaxy. So until that's resolved, we're not exactly sure which horrible outcome we're trying to prevent. Talked a good game about an intermission where I would stretch my legs. And I will. But it did not happen at 5 p.m. Atlantic Daylight Standard Time. I think the Korra told me about it. By pure chance, the very first time I spoke to a Korra, I picked the one dialogue option that triggers their ancestral memories of their first ever extermination, or the extermination where the Kzer-Za came and said, "Extermination is not the way. We're the..." Oh! I learned the words, Senzere, but I learned them by random chance. But yes, now I realize, of course, I clicked that dialogue option and he was, the words, and all that. Yeah, what a backstory. Who would have imagined that the Kzer-Za are best understood as the moderates of the Urquan people? A kinder, gentler Urquan. Really? Well, that just happened. If that's true, Holmes, I just lucked into it. I bear a charmed life. Not that charmed, because the galaxy was cleansed of all life. But at least a little charmed. Excuse me, Mr. Dreadnought. Oh, hey. See, this is where I met the Korra last time. But instead... I guess because I'm getting here earlier? I don't know. Well, we might as well check this moon. Which looks like it could be... Warwick. I love gold. That would be it, D. Holmes. No disrespect to the Pekunk, but I do kind of tune them out while they're talking, which I'm sure is an experience that they have a lot. So I'm sure they're not even all that offended. Okay. This is a real golden world. Like, I've seen some gold worlds before. Okay. It's also not the safest gold world I've ever seen. So let's just, and we're about to, you know, start messing around. I have some hippie friends on Facebook, so I do get to learn about... Listen, Pebby. It's true that I experience mild irritation when I'm listening to the Pekunk, but I do listen, I'm polite to them, and more importantly, I'm going to stop them from committing societal suicide. Like, I'm going to stop them all from getting themselves killed. They are funny. The Pekunk are very funny. I think the big thing for me was that there was a point where I was in their space, and just like every 2 seconds I was getting flagged down by a Pekunk and just being like, I don't want to talk to you right now, thank you. Oh, well, maybe I can do that this time. I don't think there's a single, you know, I mean, there are aliens that I don't like in this game. I am not personally, you know, the Druge, like, you know, I wouldn't say they made a great first impression with all their, like, slavery and corporate society. Oh, the backstory's amazing. Like, even now when I've only got the Kzer-Za side of it, it's so good at, like, making sense of why an evil alien race wants to enslave and or cleanse the galaxy of all life in a way that, like, there's pathos to it. You can feel their pain and even sympathize with it, and yet it doesn't actually make you sympathetic to them because their reaction is abhorrent. It is not the correct way to deal with that kind of trauma. Yeah, like, they are evil, but they're evil in, like, a misguided way, where, like, I do kind of just wish that, you know, we could get them some therapy and maybe make them realize that, like, remember how you liked having that one alien race that you could be friends with because they didn't trip your predator instinct? Like, what if maybe we can find another one like that? And, like, we can talk from a distance via communication channels. Let's integrate. Let's be buds. Oh, like the little ones that they... I guess I gotta deal with this guy, don't I? To some degree, Pebby. Like, that's one of the elements of this game. Oh, Lord. 3 of them? I mean, what are we gonna do? Can't help the Zoq-Fot-Pik if we're going to leave them being harried. Yep, that's exactly what you're seeing. I was never under it. Some have called me that. Alright. Yeah, these are not the words. Yes, that's what I would like to say. I mean, at this point in the timeline, if I hadn't come from another timeline, I would think that you were just out of your mind. But I see your perspective now. And I understand why you think you're helping. But my belief, sir, is that there's got to be a better way than this. So are there translators like the last remnants of their friend race that they were forced to exterminate? No. I should learn for myself. Yeah. Thank you. Alright, we just gotta play smart here because we gotta do several of these. Stimpinski, XCOM is one of those games that like I would obviously really like and have never got around to playing. The closest I've come to playing XCOM is Mario X Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which is an excellent game. And also just one of those things I like when a game is announced and then as it is slowly revealed, it gets more and more like absurd. So, hey, we're letting Ubisoft produce a crossover game of Mario and Rabbids, and you hear that and you think like, well, the Rabbids are annoying. I do not love the Rabbid characters. I'm not grateful to them for almost certainly inspiring the minions. But, all right, one down, minimal losses. Well done, Captain Thwill. Oh yeah, I am easily persuaded to try cool games, and that's a very good idea for another classic series that I should really like, that I have heard of long ago. Would love to interface with, get to know. Bumped an asteroid. But I just the point in the reveal of this Mario and Rabbids game where you kind of like go like, ugh. Don't love the Rabbids. Do love Mario. But like, you know, it could be a fun party game perhaps. And then they announce, oh no, this is an XCOM inspired strategy game where Mario is going to use guns for the first time. Yes, please. That's the kind of ridiculous shit that like when you can't see, like, how did they get to this idea from the initial pitch? It's like, sure, yeah, I'll play that. Another one that reminds me of that is Death Stranding. Not that, like, admittedly, the early, like, absolutely contextless, just, like, creepy shit happening trailers for Death Stranding were very cool, and in and of themselves were enough to make me intrigued by that game. So I was loving every reveal trailer. But the fact that they went through, like, 5 cinematic reveal trailers, and then we're like, get ready for a gameplay trailer, and I was like, this game is about delivering packages. The core gameplay loop is not falling down while you're carrying so many packages. Kingdom Hearts, another terrific example. Especially the, like, you know, Squaresoft's going to make a game where Squaresoft-esque JRPG characters adventure through a multiverse of Disney worlds in an action RPG where Goofy and Donald Duck are your companions. Like, that's pretty silly on its own. And then pretty I wonder how that came about. And then you throw in, also, there are going to be Final Fantasy characters just hanging about. Okay. I don't understand why that piece got in there, but fine. Sounds neat. I haven't read the actual story of the pitch, and I should. We call these ships looters for a reason, motherfucker. Keep coming. Keep coming. We call these butt missiles for a reason, actually. Not only because their acronym is accurate and descriptive, but because the acronym itself is the word butt and they're rear-firing torpedoes. Well, I think that's it. Backwards utilizing tracking torpedo. That sounds right. You love to see it. One ship took down 3 dreadnoughts. We did lose some crew, but we didn't lose a ton of crew. We're going to meet some friends. Oh, come on. All right, fine. We'll deal with that one next. But let's make some friends. But first, that thing I keep talking about. I'm going to stand up for a minute. I'm going to stretch a little. I'll be right back, team. I think I'm back fast enough to say goodbye, Holmes. Thank you for coming. All right, here we go. We're taking it in to meet our new friends. That would have been an inopportune time. I gotta start making an effort to do these stretching interludes a little bit more often. Especially now that I'm doing longer streams because I'm playing 2 games that I want to play a lot of at the same time. Dun 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 dun. No, I'm not here to be sneaky. I'm here to be your friends. But yeah, tell me, what's this thing? 2 alien races? Nothing? Okay, well, it's alright. Maybe I'll learn about it someday. I am seeking an alliance between peoples. Excellent. Great. I should not have promoted a crew member to be the ambassador. if it was going to be this easy. Just handing out promotions like candy. I will protect you. That's why I will protect you. Excellent news. I have only once so far managed to actually land a hit with that stinger weapon, but it felt great. I can tell. I bet in like a regular... Yeah, okay, I know you're talking about like in a ship fight, but I also bet that whether that's the Zoq or the pit or whatever, that some sort of condensing and then springing and hitting you in the belly with his face. It's probably a good move that he can do. Do you have any specific information? Do you know the words? I can't have them as a dialogue prompt until you give them to me. Okay. No, I'm sorry. I know you've told me this info in a different time. I don't mean to be rude. What is happening around here? Black ships. See, I've only seen green ships. But I know what you're talking about, because I did, like I mentioned, I am a timeline hopping consciousness that has inhabited the body. So I guess the Captain James of this timeline has been erased. Or he's in my brain, screaming to get out. But listen, old Captain James. This is important. Are we going to have enough fuel to get back? We always have the Zeman option. Not that I want to be spending those credits. Goodbye. Try not to point while I'm saying Zoq-Fot-Pik, because I don't want to start an international incident. Okay, hold on. Give me a little space here. Just in case I lose my mojo or I get the yips. And let's see what we can do. I realized just now that sound effect kind of reminds me of the moment, in Mega Man 2 when Dr. Wily's retreating to his castle and his little pod opens up and he does his eyebrow thing. No, I have not ignored your commands. I ignored Lord 237 and his friends' commands, but they're dead now. Those commands are no longer valid. Okay. I want to be clear, sir. I believe you. I do think that getting yourselves killed by me right now is not actually going to be conducive to your war effort. Oops, we forgot to... Alright, that's okay. If this goes bad, we will load and we will send Captain Thwill into battle prepared. But Captain Thwill is good at, making lemons. No, not making lemons. Making lemonade when he's given lemons. He or she. Or it. Or they. Or trying to... Just gotta keep them on their toes. Remember that they're extremely slow. Maybe, who knows what the Spathi can and can't do. If they have the power to make lemons out of lemonade, who knows what else that technology could be used for. Okay, I'm sorry, Captain Thwill. I got distracted trying to make a stupid joke, and now most of your crew is dead, and you're probably also going to die. But take comfort in the fact that we will load the save game and give you a fair chance at winning this fight. Alright. Lord 342 has my respect compared to Lord 237, who was pitiful. My fellow Kzer-Za looked deep into my soul and assigned me a number based on the order in which I joined. Oof. Okay, Fwifo. Fwifo's not off to a great start here. That's okay. This is a practice fight now. Alright. Sorry this has happened to you, Fwifo. Do you think he heard me? I guess the question is whether the Urquan torpedoes travel faster than the speed of sound. Oof, we got no dynamo units on this thing. We got nothing. Might be the end. It is the end. Okay, great. We have to load the save game. It's not even something I'm just doing to gimmick the fight. I'll mention once again, I've been playing a lot of Wizardry lately, where some of this guilt over the concept of loading a save game is coming from. Like I'm being not hardcore. Because I'm using features that were introduced into games after 1981. Should probably just calm down. I don't really need to fight these folks, but you know, it's good practice, and they're not great folks. I am Canadian, jackalopes. Did I just do something Canadian? Yeah, what's your problem, sir? I know these aren't the best words that will get you to really tell me the story. I will say, I'm not technically from the part of Canada where that would be an accent. But I also randomly pick up weird pronunciations of words for short periods of time. I got on a kick until my girlfriend pointed out to me, I didn't even notice, where I was saying again instead of again. So I might just be leaning too hard on some words, on some things. And also, the actual accent of my people, in some ways I've tried to unlearn bits of it. So like when I say shoot, I try to make sure that I say the word sure instead of shore, or coffee instead of caffee. But don't fail me now. You know, officer, if it's entirely possible, I was doing the again thing for literally years. So it might very well be the way I speak. And now it's unnatural for me to say again. I'm just doing it under peer pressure from my lady friend. Not that I think she was, you know, going to leave me or anything if I didn't stop. So I hope not. We signed a lease. Forgot to tell my buddy when I said I used you as a rental reference. I forgot to tell him because me and Danielle are moving in together. So he found out from my new landlord. Escape the gravitational pull of the planet. Oh no, that was an ill-timed asteroid collision. Lord 999. Either the lowest or highest ranking Lord. Or oldest or youngest. I think I've either seen Lord 666 in my first playthrough, or I met the Kzer-Za equivalent with the 666. We can take our time with this guy. We're technically a Spathi, but we're the Ilrith now. He's in our web. And we're done here. Yeah, that's always a bummer of a side effect. Just being tired. It's not like he can like call into work and be like, hey, I'm not coming in. Or if it's the weekend, like now you're tired. It's the freaking weekend. Okay, well that went well enough. I'm satisfied. I'm content. So let's head back on our way to Earth. Hopefully we've got the fuel we need, but we'll stop at the Zeman system and spend some of those credits if we must. We can barely make it. Okay, we're not doing anything on the way home. We'll take our small haul because we also did have a fair... winning all these dogfights with the Urquan has been great for our resource units. So, okay. A good expedition. Chart a course home. Ensign, make it so. And away we go. Hopefully we don't have to fight 7 or 8 more Urquan as the autopilot takes the longest and clumsiest possible route out of the Alpha Tucanae star system. Thank goodness they're so friggin' slow. Oh yeah, might need to take manual control for this situation. Yeah, oof. And yet we don't really have a ton of flexibility here either. Okay. Oh, come on, folks. I understand why they don't want to cut me some slack. I am their mortal enemy. Could you cut me some slack? Hey, yeah. And this... Yeah, the fact that he caught me... no, Jackalopes, I am pretty close to, at least at the, to the extent that you can put more fusion thrusters on to get speed upgrades. I have. Thank you, Waffle Syrup, and thank you, Happy Camper, for seconding that. I did feel like I was piloting pretty well there. But nothing to do about a Slylandro probe. Because it's still faster than me. Oh, okay. Whew. At least this one's on a peaceful mission. Yeah, it's a tough balance to strike, Senzure, because at the default 5,000 cycles, I think the hyperspace speed might be closer to the original. But I think they are British, because I am in the depths of Urquan space, and I did just kill a bunch of them. Okay, well, Captain Solo, you're our big hope. Yeah, the only time, like... okay, that was terrible. That was not my moment. Let's see if Captain James can pull this off, and if not, I mean, we'll just try again. See, I haven't done anything to upgrade the weapons, or else this wouldn't really be that hard to fight. Okay. I am going to take one more run at this. I would love to have not lost that cruiser. So one more attempt. Yeah, I need something that's like I can't fight those probes with my looters. And right now that's the entirety of the ships I have. I guess like if the Zoq-Fot-Pik ships with their stingers weren't so low HP or like low crew capacity, so that they get very, very quickly killed when the Slylandro get close, then there might be a chance to kind of do a Pyrrhic victory thing. Okay. Start with the autopilot. And we'll break off if we need to, which we already know that we do. Big fan of the hyperspace music, but really feels like in this particular situation what we need is banjo music for a high-speed chase. Excuse me, folks. It's been a lovely visit. Okay. And let's re-engage autopilot. We're at the borders of Urquan space. How committed are they to overseeing the war effort? Doesn't seem like they're that committed, but it doesn't matter. We're faster than you. This is a problem you've been running into, because you're slower than the precursor, and you're much slower than the eluder. Which keeps costing you your lives. Alright. Getting near the point where I probably just gotta make a concession to the other demands of life and shut down even though there's nobody here who wants me to shut down and pay attention to them right now. But not yet. Not yet, baby. What is that chase? It might be a Slylandro probe. I think it's slowly gaining on me. Or perhaps once I have them literally just on my tail, I am... No, they are closing on me. Will they catch me? Oh, yeah, that's an important step too, Waffle Syrup. Indeed they are. If only the Spathi could tow the precursor right now. Well, I'm gonna hope, Waffle Syrup, that you don't have a paper due on the weekend. And so hopefully you've got some time here to prepare, research, outline, write, and revise, as opposed to just sitting down and just banging out some words to make a paper. Alright. I know the commander's going to have bad news for me, obviously. Oh yeah? Is it about the Spathi? Oh no, it's about the Zoq-Fot-Pik. Zoq-Fot-Pik. I'm gonna just pray to God that you meant to type 500 word. Because, listen, I try not to go criticizing my colleagues, but that does seem like a... Yeah, okay, good. I was going to say, I don't think at the undergraduate level we should be assigning 500-page papers. A major situation? Here, there. Well, thank you for leading with the good news, Commander Hayes. Oh, that's okay, Commander. I'm not worried about that. Captain Thwill, sorry, has he's gonna get it all done. What could have happened? And what precious gift might they have left behind for us as a way of saying sorry for abandoning you? There's only one way to find it. I will keep it coming, Commander. Okay. Don't need you to repeat those bulletins because they were about things that I knew. I could have given you those bulletins, Commander. I mean, we all have a role to play, so I should keep letting you read the bulletins. But, just saying. Okay. Crew back up. And we did lose a fair number of crew, but when you consider how many crew the Urquan lost, I think we're laughing. Okay. We also need to spend a lot of resource units on fuel. So let's. I imagine back in 1992 when you got hired on the Star Control 2 project to be the 3D artist, and then they told you, all we need you to do is just one screen that barely is animated. You're probably like, well, like, how long of a timeline do we have here? Like, I gotta get started tonight if we're gonna be ready for launch. Okay, so I could get lots of things. What do I need? I need another fuel tank, don't I? In the fullness of time? No, because we're drawing closer. Okay, no, for now I should get another fuel tank. It's not time for the, like, I don't need to be fighting with the precursor yet, so we should keep on the goal of upgrading things that allow us to explore more, find more, do more, etc. Great. Okay. Let's throw down, save. That's a good point. I might be able to afford that right now. Of course, we gotta act like we're leaving and then turn right around indecisively and come back. Yeah, we are at the point where we can. Max thrusters. And max turning capacity too, right? Yeah. Not too bad. We are in real good condition. We are developing as a team, as a single ship, but also as a fleet, and also as an intergalactic alliance. I think I spent too much money to add a Zoq-Fot-Pik ship to the fleet right now, but we can do that next time we come home. Now let me take a moment here. There's some key things I want to check out before I get out there. Okay. Okay. Let's pull up the old star map. Yeah, actually, I should pull up the old star map in the sense of looking at a PDF here, because that's a much faster way to find things than highlighting them one at a time on the star map. Okay. So actually, as it turns out, I did remember where the Draconis constellation is. And probably could have just shot for it directly. What's the fuel consumption getting there? It's slightly less than half. I think that's a UKM Rikwan Masters specific feature. Quality of life, unless there's just literally like, if there's a key I could press that would bring up a search, that'd be great. I'm not aware of it. But let's try this. Slash just marked my autopilot route. I think we'll put a pin in that for now, because I'll just check the manual. And if it exists, I will identify it. And I believe that this is, I know it's the Gruis constellation. But exactly where is Epsilon Gruis? How about that? Thank you, Happy Camper, for dashing our hopes. Now, fortunately, the PDF is very helpful. And now that I know it's not going to, the printout star map that you could have on your desk beside you if you had bought this game in 1992. It's very helpful now that I know it's not going to spoil anything for me. I'm not afraid to look at it. So we are able to chart a course. We're going to hit Spathi. Yeah, Jackalopes. Just imagine writing the outline for that paper. This Slylandro probe will chase us across the galaxy, which seems like a very inefficient way to carry out its mission. I suppose it's running a very simple protocol. So it's probably not always empowered to make the most efficient choices. So the most important thing, because what I want to do right now, I'm going to try to hit Spathi on the way to Epsilon Draconis. And at Epsilon Draconis, I want to sight the Rainbow World. The only Rainbow World I found was in that star system on my previous attempt. And then, nearby, Theta Draconis will have some radioactives. And if I can get those, and if I can get back and probably kill that probe on the way, hopefully I can refuel the ship. Thus not dooming us all to drift in the vacuum of space. Forever. Well, obviously I know that this is not going to work out in any way. Can't do much. Scan. It's a water... Oh. Our scanners are being rejected by the slave shield. What's going on here? Did they leave a note? You always leave a note. They left a note and... Okay, that's good. That'll get us on our way to fueling back up when we doth return. And there's the note. Anything living down there? There's not. Very safe down there because the Spathi would not have colonized this pellucid moon, even if it was the shortest trip from their home, if it had higher than class 1 anything. Honestly, it's kind of surprising they didn't go looking for a completely inert planet. Hey, Robinson. I thought you died missions ago. I'm glad to see you're here. You're still with us. Oh, yeah. You think it might explain? You're not positive that the note explaining the disappearance of the Spathi explains it? Like, it's not like I don't picture the Kzer-Za exterminating the Spathi and then leaving a clever little note to trick us into thinking they're still alive. Dear Hunans, how are you? We are fine. the Spathi. carrying on both like as though you were responding in their letter. Listen, Spathi, I was happy for you, despite all this, the first time this happened in a different timeline. And then in the end, when you were utterly helpless and unable to even try to elude the Kzer-Za as they cleanse the galaxy, I felt very sad. It was great to meet you all. Super powerful hyperwave caster the Unga used to trick us into believing that the Grand Master Planet Eaters were coming to destroy our planet. We thought that maybe you'd like to have it. I would. I really, really would. Okay. Well, that's step one on our little sojourn here. So let's throw a save down. Be glad we got those exotics because we are going to need resource units to fuel the ship back up when we get home, if I'm going to do the whole trip. If it turns out it's not viable, well, we've got to save here. Let's go. To the star map. Let me note to myself that I did go down and clean out Epsilon Gruis. And now, let's see what we can do here. I want to go to Epsilon Draconis. Oh heck, it's actually one of the closer ones. And if on the way we can persuade the dog-faced dudes, can't remember what they're called, I'm sure they'll tell me, get them to go intervene fruitlessly in the Urquan Civil War, might as well. I gotta learn the words in-game. The Thradash. Thank you, XLX, Wired XLX. I will henceforth refer to you probably as Wired. And welcome, by the way, first time chatter. Glad you're here. Hope you're having fun. The 19th culture. I love that system. Although, I gotta feel like I have a hard time imagining a way where 20 doesn't wind up being a better culture than the one they're currently trying. Whew, these long streams, like, no complaints mood-wise. Having a great time, having fun with the game. Glad to be hanging out with you folks. But just the length of time, like sitting, even with the getting up to stretch. I don't know how the pros do it. Actually, I guess part of it is they're all much younger than me. I'm not surprised to hear that, Senzere. Perhaps I'll be able to activate it. Perhaps I even had activated it by getting them to go get their asses kicked. Yeah, and honestly, Peppy, all I gotta do, I have an adjustable desk. So the only thing I gotta do is I just gotta make sure that my setup is such. I just need to leave myself enough time before I launch to make sure that I can adjust it. Then I can sit sometimes, stand sometimes, go back and forth. But if I start pulling this up and then just like, I'm ripping cords out of the computer and the whole thing shuts down, that'd be a shame. Okay, here we are. Which one's the rainbow world? Did I note specifically? Yes, Planet 1 is a rainbow planet. So let's just... Yeah, in my, like, when I've got a basic, like, I'm working and not video conference, like, I'm not in video meetings or anything, my setup is clean enough that I can adjust without yanking everything apart. Did I just hear? Hello? Hey, I'll wrap up very soon. You did? I'm sorry, my phone did not ring. Or I'm sure it rang. Okay. I think I actually got to wrap up here, folks. So we're going to stop in this not particularly Exciting point. And we'll shut things down. All right. So that's it for today, but we're in good shape. Things are coming together. Will we save the galaxy this time? I don't know, but we'll get closer than we did last time because we're practically where we were last time, and we have years before the galaxy is doomed. So I'm optimistic. You're all welcome for the stream, and thank you all for coming out because it's much more fun. I mean, the game by itself, 5 stars, but 6 stars when we add in hanging out with you folks. Had a good time. I'll be back tomorrow playing Ultima 6, The False Prophet. So check that out if that sounds like something you'd be interested in. And until the next time those celestial bodies align, take care of yourselves and be kind to everyone you meet.